Yeah! And hey, what's going on?
Woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Swishcast, the only Team Fortress 2 podcast, the only good one anyway. And before we get into our very special, before we get into our very special guest, we go around the table like we always do. My name is Indy. To the right of me is Party Pug TV. Say hello.
Hello, hi. Wait, is my thing not? Oh, there it is. Hello, hello.
Okay, yeah, and to the right of him is Cashew. Say hello.
Is Sam G.
Hi!
Is Canadian Sam G.
Hey, I'm Sam G.
Was crossed out as Zell for some reason. Canadian as Zell.
Yeah, there you go. A very exciting episode today. We have a man who needs no introduction, but we will introduce him anyways. It's Uncle Dane. Say hello.
Uncle Shane.
Hello! It's me.
Yeah,
What's
we got Unk on,
We
baby.
got the Unk.
We got Unk. We got Unk.
The Unk.
Hello, Governor!
Oh,
yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Okay, Indy. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I am fucking sweating. All right. It has been absolutely It has been the hottest day in the UK. I've come home from work. I'm shattered. I'm knackered. I want to get. I can't be asked to do an introduction. So can we just hop straight into the topics?
Let's
All right.
hop, skip, and a jump. So some big news. Well, we got in touch with Dane like a couple weeks ago before we even knew this was going to happen. But the summer update dropped. Was it yesterday or the day before?
It was 2 days ago. Oh, it was on Thursday, so that was 2 days ago.
Yeah, there we go. And well, that was the big one. That was this seems like one of the bigger summer updates we've gotten recently. We have a good few community maps. We have a banger cosmetic case, 4 taunts.
I think it's the best one yet. It's one of the best.
I think
ones.
you might be
Absolutely.
right. Honestly,
I don't think there's a single miss in this one, which is like crazy.
The best summer update yet, you mean?
Yeah, the best one yet. 1 out of 2. All right, it's on the top.
so better than last year, yeah.
1 out of 2.
Which should mean that the next one is even going to be better.
It's only we're going sky high.
Exactly.
Right now at the It's So Over, We're So Back chart, we're on the We're So Back right now.
Until we loop back to it being over.
I don't
Yeah.
know. When has TF2 ever gone wrong? I don't think so.
Well, we'll get into
No,
that
he's
later.
right too.
Wait, hold on.
I do want to immediately turn the question to our guest, Dane. What do you think of this update so far? Everything you've played.
I mean, I think it's great. I do think that like they definitely made a lot more careful choices when it came to the maps, which is the thing that I care the most about. But as far as I mean, I just took a little peek at the cosmetics, and they're all pretty solid. And it's pretty funny. There's 2 extremely toxic taunts that were added, really cementing TF2's like mainstay as like one of the last games you can play where like you can get away with that kind of thing. Like you can't. I don't think that like other games would allow that kind of thing. So it's cool. But yeah, I mean, I honestly haven't really played a whole lot of the update so far, but I from the few maps that I have been able to play like full rounds of, it's pretty awesome. And I'm sure we'll probably talk in depth about individual maps later, but yeah, overall I like it a lot.
Well, when you mentioned taunts, I'm very happy that 3 out of 4 of the taunts we got in this update are actual taunts instead of just like emotes. Because
exactly,
this is like really irked me because whenever there's a new taunt nowadays, it's like a pyro like on a swing or something, and it's like, how is that taunting anybody? Like, it's like you just call them emotes at this point,
right.
Which is why there's this one, Unleash the Rage. You guys have seen that one, right? Where it's like the merc's angry. I don't see a situation where that could like hurt someone. Seeing that in the kill cam is like, wow, that guy got really angry killing me.
that taunt is banger for SFM though, I'm just saying.
That is true. Content build.
That's my content brain at work, sorry.
my thought immediately was like, oh yeah, I could probably use this.
That's gonna save me time. Like, oh yeah.
It's probably going to be also good for the clip dumpers out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No,
Monthly
I
goals are
think
going to
it's
go hard.
It makes sense that they made the rage taunt in the same update that they added the can it and the other one with the pyro, because that's the reaction to someone doing that to you.
Oh,
So someone says
Once you
someone
respawn,
says that you're trash, you do the rage taunt back at them, and then it makes sense.
hold on. That's
yeah,
yeah.
How can you do that if you're dead though?
That's
You do it. You do it after. You run up to them in the game and do it.
Well, you respawn, walk all the way back to them, and then let them know how you feel.
Yeah, you respawn in the spawn room. You go, fuck. And then, that's basically it.
I do like the other 3 taunts though. My favorite one is the sniper one, where it's like aim here and it's like pointing at the head.
Yeah.
I think Canet's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
that one's
I think the reason that Canet sells it so hard is the sound effect. Like it's a very hard kicking of the bin, like very satisfying. I don't think it would have been as good if it didn't have the big, like, massive metal bashing sound.
I think the most important thing is that with all 3 of these, I can picture you doing it and then someone being really loud in voice chat in response.
You serious, dude? You serious?
You're not good.
Bring back all talk, please.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, that's true.
Wait, did they ever actually side thing?
Was that ever a thing in like normal servers?
Was that ever like a thing actually? I'm saying bring it back, but I don't think it was ever there.
It could be that, like, I mean, back when quickplay was a thing, like you would probably get put into servers with.
Oh yeah,
that's probably it.
That's true. Yeah.
I love all talk. It's great. I think it makes playing TF2 like 10 times more fun.
We have it on our server.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do the chat room with guns analogy again already. It's a record. We're 10 minutes into the episode. We're gonna do that analogy again.
Anyone new to the show, we keep saying that TF2 is a chat room with guns, and
that's a quote from someone, right?
It's
I don't know. I think
it's
one
a
of us
quote
said
from
it.
a Valve writer. It's a quote
is
from
it?
a Valve writer.
Okay, my bad.
It's yeah, and we keep saying it, and our third host Sam, who's not here, hates it. So
he's like, you say that every episode. Stop saying it.
We say it because it's true.
It is true. It's kind of true.
At least from us, where we fall on the Array 7 friendly to competitive scale. Anyone remember that?
I remember that. Indy, what about the hats? Come on, lay it down. Can I put them on screen or what's going on?
I mean, you could put them on screen, but I think
one that's really fucking good, and I'm glad it got in game is the Doom, the MF Doom mask for Demo Man. That's one of the That's one of the greatest cosmetics we've gotten like in.
Yeah, it's definitely a highlight.
There's a lot of people. I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. They're saying, "Oh well, I don't think this is just like a ham-fisted media reference." It's like, do you have any joy in your heart? like, come on, it's good.
Like, it's your heart is black as coal. Like, what's that?
Like, I don't think it ruins the art style or anything.
No, do they have the same criticism about the clear reference to Half-Life? I mean,
yeah, like, is that, I don't know, did they?
Or just any of the other ones. I mean, like, they have a JoJo hat and everything like that, so whatever.
It's like, it's like TF2 has been doing, like, reference hats for, like, years. Like, it's not a new thing.
I mean, think about the hat that my character in game wears. It's the Danger. It's Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's Breaking Bad, and that wasn't released in fucking the 70s, so, you know.
I think the only cosmetic I don't like is it's called the Bottler 2000, and the only reason I don't like it is not because it looks bad or anything, but it's like a little character that follows you around on the ground, and this is very cynical of me, but I think this has opened like the floodgates to have like 1,000 like pet cosmetics. Like now we're gonna see like cats and dogs and squirrels like running around with the mercs, and I'm not a big fan of that.
I mean, there have been pet cosmetics before, or well, at least there's like the ghosts and the balloonicorn or whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of those are like tied to a lot of those are like tied to some sort of restriction. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's
they're Halloween restricted most of the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have that big of a problem with it. I just hope that like follow-ups, like you said, that do fall into the category of like pets, because this does open up a huge category for that. I hope that they're at least animated in a way where it doesn't look like a glitch or something. Like I feel like it could go very wrong if people just kind of hastily put those together. But I mean,
yeah, it could cause a bit of confusion in the game, like how the what was that Halloween cosmetic with the scout? The second part of him.
Carrier.
Oh, that was
yeah,
I remember that drama.
It looked like they were fucking. Yeah, and
but it's like the robot is like kind of the perfect thing to do for that, because when you're moving your character forward and backward and basically just like hitting WASD, it doesn't know how to like walk backwards. It can only roll backwards. So it's like if you were to do that with a dog or a cat, like you would have to add a walking backwards animation for the dog or the cat, or just kind of I don't know, suspend your disbelief and make sure that people just understand that it's not going to look perfect, but if it doesn't look perfect, then I don't know, it shouldn't really be added. So I just think I hope that Valve recognizes that and doesn't like hastily add cats or dogs, because they know that it's going to be like a hot ticket item, and more pay attention to the way that it's handled as far as animation and believability go.
I really don't want to shoot a rocket at a dog.
No, I would feel evil.
Hey, but it could be the 10th class. The dog, like from back in the day. It could be real,
right.
Dude.
With the robot as well, it's like already a thing that's in Embargo, which is one of the maps, has little has these exact guys. I haven't seen the item in game yet. I assume they're not the same size, because I can imagine that would be really confusing.
Well, it's red. It's hard to unbox. It's rare.
It's the rarest one in the case. Yeah. But it's just it's more of I have a problem with what it could mean for the future rather than what it really is. I think as it is right now, it's like fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's like a cool opportunity for a new type of cosmetic, which is interesting. But I think I'm with you that like it's tough to make something good for that kind of thing. The bot makes at least physical sense, but what kind of other thing are you supposed to do?
Yeah, well, my thought was that we're 100%, this is my prediction, going to see a tank for like the soldier, just like a mini tank.
A little tiny tank?
Around. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
I think that's already real. I think that, I swear that's on the workshop.
Well, no, that's like that's an emote, right? Or
yeah.
I mean,
no.
You can get inside of a tank as the soldier.
No. I mean, like on the workshop, I swear there's like a tank like companion as well. I swear I saw that.
Maybe.
Wait, I'm gonna look quickly. Wait, hang on.
All right.
Anyway, I don't really have any strong opinions on any of the other cosmetics. I think the one with the medic where he shows off his guns is pretty good, but otherwise they're all
neat. Yeah, I like them. I'm not gonna scramble to get any of them anytime soon or go on a crazy unboxing spree. Mostly because I told myself that I wouldn't like financially participate in the summer
because
update.
it's like the
boycott.
The boycott.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, a little. I mean, like I wouldn't even call it a boycott, because I mean, if I really wanted to boycott TF2, I just wouldn't play it. But I think as far as financially incentivizing Valve right now, I feel a little bad about it until I'm like super confident that they're going to have like long-term solutions for keeping the cheater bots out of TF2. Because I mean, you could be cynical and say the only reason why they were so gung-ho about doing this is because the summer update was coming out. So it's like, okay, well, now that it's out, like, what are you guys going to do from here on out? That's my question. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens.
Well, what's your opinion on a huge portion of the community publicly, announcing that there should be a boycott and that we should all do a concentrated effort and spread the word about not spending money on TF2? Do you think that's the play?
I mean, they can do that if they want. I'm not super into the idea of spreading it. I think it's just a choice that people want to make. I'm not trying to like, I don't know, shame people into making a decision. It's just like, if you feel the same way that I do about this, then that's probably just the best way to do it. I mean, I personally think that voting with your wallet is the most important thing that you can do when it comes to like making companies like Valve do what you would like them to do. So that's just the way that I go about it. But if everybody else feels like, oh, I mean, I only play TF2 like once every few months, it doesn't really matter to me. Like if Valve is like maintaining this game very much. I can understand them, like, buying a couple cases or something because they think it's fun. I don't really care that much about it. I like, so to answer your question basically in a roundabout way, I support people's decisions, but I'm not really supportive of like a boycott movement, really. That's not as important to me.
So it should stay like an individual choice. I get you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion yet, but I think I've seen people shame others for spending money on the game. That's stupid.
The thing is, it's like what is it? It's like, I feel like with like a lot of all these things, you should like do your own research and make your own like opinion and choice. Like, you can just blindly follow what someone's telling you to do without not knowing what you're actually doing.
Exactly.
My favorite YouTuber said it, so it must be true.
Yeah, it's like, no, do not follow that mentality ever. Also, I found it. Okay, I was having Mandela effect. It's not a companion. It's like a hat. It's a hat, and it like wiggles when you like move. And it's like there's one frame where it looks like it's a companion, and like if you like click on it and go at the end, like the last one, he looks like he's moving, but that's just the hat on his head. My bad.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one though.
Because that does make the most. I mean, like that doesn't have anything without legs. Basically works. I mean, like what came to mind is like if Engineer got like a remote control like car, like an RC car or something, that would be appropriate for him. Stuff like that. I mean, or maybe like Archimedes in like a baby carriage.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It can also just be
if anybody makes
flying.
these, if anybody makes these, make sure you put me in the credits for the workshop page so I get some revenue.
Get a cut.
Yeah.
I can probably see the MVM tank maybe as well.
A little mini one. Yeah.
That would be funny.
I saw someone say that because there's now companions in the game that they can make what's that like anime girl sentry?
Okay, yeah. That wouldn't clash at all with the art style.
That one looked completely fucking ridiculous at all. I think that'd be the worst thing ever if they added that. I'm gonna lie.
like an anime girl just following you around.
Wow. But that's like something you'd have in like Valorant. Like, come on.
It would be a bad idea, but from the perspective of Valve's wallet, it would be a very good idea.
That is true.
Because there would be people complaining about it and then turning around and buying as many as they want.
I feel like half the community would be like, yes, and the other half would be like, oh no. So I don't know.
It would be very divisive.
It'd be a very divisive topic. We'd have to do a whole podcast on it.
On that one cosmetic.
Like TF2. There you go. Here's the title right now. TF2's most controversial hat or cosmetic or whatever.
Dude, have you even heard of a thing called art style? You should read up on that.
Yeah, it's integral to the fun of TF2.
That is true. That's true as well.
I can't have fun unless I'm immersed.
I cannot have fun unless I am completely immersed in this cartoon game.
As soon as I see something that doesn't fit the 60s, 70s time period, I get so angry. I have to stand up,
turn off my game, and go to drink water.
Steam starts coming out of my ears. I get red.
Like a train whistle coming out of your ears. I think we should touch on the maps.
Maps. Oh, there's one map that's so peak that I've already played because it was in a Tropic Crisis.
I do want to say that since we have our own TF2 server, I was very happy to see a couple maps from that we already had in our rotation, like make it to the game.
Oh yeah,
Applejack
got in.
It feels like almost validating. Like, yeah, we got good taste. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy with our map rotation. Except that today we just learned we didn't have harvest, and I was like, oh. But apart from that. We had Reckoner for some reason, but whatever.
We also added Doomsday the other day, so the world is safe.
No, Doomsday's peak. I'll defend Doomsday. I got into a full game of Doomsday and casual. It was like an actually like surreal experience.
We gotta add some pastime maps.
No, they fixed pastime.
Anyway, the maps that made it in from our server rotation were Applejack and Atom Smash. So that's the CTF and player destruction one. I really like both of those. I think they're really good. I mean, we already had Atom Smash in the game via Halloween, but it's just nice to.
Oh, was that the one of like the
player description,
Frankenstein one that you go in the big pit.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that map. I swear that map got like bugged, and like the saws they don't you can't like jump into them anymore because they just like always kill you. Or was that just like me?
I think you're just shit.
I think I might just be really bad. I don't know.
Applejack is also really good. I know that Dane's not a big fan of Capture the Flag, but you gotta admit it is peak.
I haven't actually played on the map, but I did open it up. Like whenever the update came out, I immediately just kind of opened each map up in a private server and just like flew around each one for like 10 or 15 minutes. And I will say, Applejack, I mean, yeah, I'm notoriously do not really like playing CTF, but there is one CTF map that I really like, and that is the one with the big tree. I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, Landfall.
Landfall.
Yeah, Landfall. I think is actually it's the only CTF map that I actually have checked in my casual queue, and I really like playing on it. And I think it's mostly because there's two things about it that I really enjoy, which is the center area is like it could have a capture point on it, but it just doesn't. And it's mostly just there to have like DM fights in, which I think is kind of the appeal of CTF to a lot of people. And the capture, like the flag, is accessible, like relatively accessible, because it's kind of in a more open area, or at least the area surrounding it. You don't basically what I'm trying to say is you don't have to go through a bunch of tunnels and tubes to get to the capture or the flag like every other CTF map. So those two things I think make Landfall like a very playable CTF map for people who don't like CTF. And Applejack has pretty much both of those two qualities about it. So I am excited to play on it. I haven't gotten around to playing it. I keep getting Monster Bash for some reason, which I'm not complaining about because I also really like that map. But Applejack does look really good. And anybody who has played it could probably attest to that or not. I haven't really heard very much feedback on it, but it looks good from what I've seen. I'm not afraid
pretty
to play
well
it.
From
when we played it on our server, and it's really fun.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even feel like a CTF map sometimes. It just feels like a really like nice open like DM map, which is
exactly. Harvest vibes.
It does have like harvest energy.
True.
And
well, it is
like
weirdly like I mean, it's a summer update, but that map is like inappropriately very autumn themed, which it's snuck in.
Yeah,
but
it's very orange.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have an autumn event besides Scream Fortress, so I think
that one slide.
Yeah. Well, the person who made Applejack, make sure you make a Halloween version. It might get in.
Oh, hang on, hold on.
Just put a couple of pumpkins everywhere. I mean, it'll fit into the aesthetic.
Just
a request from Unc himself.
Put a massive, just like a massive monoculous boss fight that ruins everything in the middle.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely be perfect.
That turns everyone friendly.
Like it's like, stop playing the game, stop having fun, fight the giant screaming eyeball, please.
I mean, you can't be angry at Monoculus. He sounds really funny. It's like he goes like.
I can do a 1-to-1 Monoculus impression. I'm so happy with that.
All right, let's hear your Monoculus.
No, that was good. That was really good.
No. You nailed it.
Can we get an impression from
Unc? If you, yeah.
Of Monoculus Eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes.
That was a bit. I think he's a bit more aggressive than that.
He's like,
well, that's him when he's tired.
Wait.
It's like Monoculus on Adderall.
When he's sedated.
Yeah.
That's him in his apartment by himself, chilling out on the couch.
Yeah, what is he? No, that's a good point. He comes in like a vortex. What is he doing for the rest of the year when it's not Halloween? He's just chilling by himself.
I think he's just like unemployed. Not many job opportunities for a giant floating eye, I think.
He's a fat bastard.
He's not. He's a good man. He tries his best.
He's a hardworking guy.
What do we think of
employee? Oh, sorry.
What do we think of the medieval? Shut up. What do we think of the medieval mode app? Oh my god.
Medieval map.
Oh yeah, I installed that app. Yeah, medieval maps really quickly. I played a lot of that actually. I mostly was just playing Spy on it, and it's cool. I mean, if you like medieval mode, you'll like it. But I played it for like 30 minutes, and then I immediately queued into another one, and I just left. I was like, I think I'm done with medieval mode for like a good few months. I think it's just like it's like medieval mode has been in the game forever, so I'm just like I've experienced that already. But a new map is cool for people who like that. So
yeah, it's a multi-stage as well, which is kind of cool for a medieval map.
Switches it up.
Yeah, it's like the only other medieval mode map.
It's just
other than like
just
the one.
No, there's a Halloween version of Degree Keep as well, so it's free.
Oh well, that's basically the same map.
Solar Lights Rejoice.
Yes, Demo Nights can finally finally be accepted.
I played it too. It's pretty good. I'm just not a big. I have a big hate boner for Demo Night specifically, and when there's a big game mode where everything is weighted in Demo Night's favor. Yes, it's not a good time for me personally.
I mean,
but I was farming some stock fist kills on it yesterday. It was pretty fun.
It's just like it's just like it's one of those games where you can play like you have like 3 choices of classes, and then all the rest of them are just like unusable. So I don't know about it.
It's like
what the hell do you do as engineer?
No, I'm sorry.
No. You can get the gunslinger out, and then you do 3 consecutive hits. You get a melee crit just for some guy to get one randomly, anyways, and you die instantly.
Urethra.
No, you can. Can you teleport with the Eureka effect?
You can't build.
Yeah, but you can teleport. I think. Can you?
They actually fixed the melee desync with the gunslinger, which was, I mean, people who don't play engineer that much probably wouldn't have known very much about it. I very briefly touched on it in a video at some point, but the gunslinger used to have this really annoying problem where you could hit someone 3 times with the third punch and it won't crit, and it's apparently because of a lag desync problem, and that was actually fixed in this update. It was a community fix by someone. So thanks to those people, awesome. that punch is now more consistent, which is nice.
How does this change the engineer meta?
It means I can punch heavies to death easier. Nice.
Cool.
We'll just warrant a full video.
Well, we see an Uncle Dane montage of that.
I'm gonna make a 25-minute long video talking about that.
You should do medieval mode engineer meta.
Discuss all the different strats,
all the different ninja spots. You can't even use the teleport. You can just teleport home, and that's it.
Teleport home. Anyway, with the other maps, do you guys have any standouts you want to mention?
My favorite map I want to bring up is it Embargo, the one that has the robot in it, the mini. I played that map because it was in Tropic Crisis. That one is like, it's so mental. It's one of the most mental maps in TF2. All right.
Silent reading time.
Silent just stop. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right. Anyway, I must have just hearing things. The ghost in the room. No, because It's got a custom score. It's got flying animated helicopter. It's got mini robots that come up to you and give you health kits. It's like
2 custom announcers.
2 custom announcers. It like switches like environment like halfway through. You go from like outside in like Brazil or wherever it is, and then you go in a casino, and it's one of the craziest maps in TF2. Like genuinely, it is mental, and it's good. It's well designed as well. It's not just like asset overload. It's like actually, oh my bad.
Yeah, like it could have easily been like too much. But I think that it still feels like a very simplistic TF2 map. Like it's very much designed that way. And what I do like about it is that, like, with Payload maps, I don't think anybody's ever, I mean, as far as I don't really play a whole lot of community maps, but this is the first map I've ever seen where the progression of the cart being pushed tells a story. Okay. Because that's what it does. You're literally like participating in story beats as you push the cart along, which is awesome. I think after point 1 you push it into a truck, and then you have to get onto like a frontier like truck with like a back part that you like float on or I guess sit on to push it. And then at some point during that transition from point 2 to the next point, some tanks come to like block the progression of that truck, and the truck has to take a detour through the casino. And those tanks are like totally interactable as well. Like you can actually like jump on top of them when they become like an actual map object. That kind of stuff is like really creative, and honestly, I mean, like I know there's like a varying levels of talent in the map making community, especially when it comes to like the amount of people who have enough connections to put together something like this. But I would love to see more maps that tell stories within the game. That is very interesting to me. And so that's why as soon as I loaded up Embargo, I was like, what the fuck? This is like the most insane map I've ever seen added to the game. So, you know, kudos to the people who put that together. Not to say any of the other maps weren't also good, but that one definitely is like the standout. I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff on Tropic Crisis is like really high quality and like a lot of effort put into it like that.
You keep bringing up Tropic Crisis. I'm unfamiliar with what this is.
That's okay. So a large amount of the maps in this update were a part of a community update that they did for like the workshop and stuff.
It's like a South American themed update.
Yeah, so you might notice like a lot of the maps are South American themed. It's because like it was like a South American themed community update that they did. There was like a page for it. There was a bunch of servers. I don't think all the maps from Tropic Crisis got in, but a lot of them did.
No, what my favorite Tropic Crisis map didn't get in. It's called Favela. It's a capture the flag map where like the flag, there's only one flag, and when you take it back to your base, it starts like a King of the Hill type timer, and then the other team has to go grab back the flag and put it back in their base to continue their timer. It was a lot of fun.
It was honestly a really good this was like recently. I think this was like a couple months before the summer update. It was a really good community update. There were fortunately a lot of streamers went through it and tried to like say it was terrible, even though it wasn't. They didn't, and without playing any of the maps. Because like Embargo, when I played it, I think we played it early, didn't we, for the podcast? Because we did an episode with the
we got to play it early.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I do want to say about Embargo. I was playing it the first day this update dropped. I was playing and I didn't even know a soldier tried to rocket jump right next to the helicopter and just got completely decimated by the helicopter blades.
I did notice there are 2 helicopters in this update, which is the other map. I'm gonna butcher the name. Caccio area. Is that also a part of the same community update?
Yeah, no, I think it was. It is, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because it uses, I think, I want to say either a similar or very, very, pretty much the same helicopter asset, and they both kill you if you jump into the blades. Understandably.
Yeah, I think a lot of the maps were made by a big team. Which ones didn't get added? Overgrown get added, Indy.
Yeah, Overgrown got added as well.
Oh yeah, that one was from Tropic Crisis as well. That one's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, Overgrown has been
it's an
Crash's map for a long ass time. I remember playing that map like
2015 it came out.
Yeah, really long time ago.
It was also a part of Tropic. I don't know how that worked.
I think he updated it
on Tropic Thunder, I think.
Yeah, he put it in Tropic Crisis with like a little bit of a facelift, I think, with the visuals, so it fits better. And it's basically unchanged pretty much, but it was a part of it.
I remember when we had him on, he said, he put like the Lost meme in like a bunch of bowls. Do you remember
that? that was a different map. That was
that? Oh, I thought it was the same.
What was that war themed one? Frontline.
Oh, Frontline. Oh yeah. I wish.
Another one we were robbed of anyway.
Frontline was good as well.
That was probably my most anticipated like community update, but you know, it is what it is.
We do have it in Swishcast Central though.
Did anyone else here play Halle? It's like the one that works like steel.
Oh.
Does it actually work like steel? Because I thought it was a little bit more linear than that. I don't think you can cap the middle point at any time like steel.
Is that the one that's
underwater?
I think you still have to cap it in order. Oh,
no,
really?
No, you can cap the end point E at any time, but you do have to go through the other ones like A, B, C, D.
Yeah, and capping A, B, and C like makes more routes open as it goes.
E,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes more routes open, and it raises the point like elevation. So like,
so it's actually harder to cap E if you have everything else until that point capped.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I mean, immediately when I joined and saw that they had a little map that it was donut shaped, very much like Steel, I was like, oh, cool, Steel 2. Seems cool, but unfortunately, I can see a lot of people really disliking it because it is probably confusing. I mean, people are already still to this day, Steel's been out for over a decade, and people are still confused by the layout of that map somehow. So, I mean, I don't think Heidel's going to have a whole lot of it's not gonna get a whole lot of love, but I think it's gonna be like a cult classic, like Steel is. So some people really like Steel. So
I played on it, and I found the layout to be really confusing. But I was the same with Steel, where I found Steel really confusing. But after I played it like a good few times, then I figured it out, and I find Steel really fun. So I think the same thing's gonna happen with me and Hadel, where I'm just gonna have to play it a bunch to really learn where all the routes are, and then I'll probably have fun on it.
It's one you have to play a few times. I think I played it a few times when we were you and Sam. I remember the first round we played it normally. It was pretty good. I remember what happened to the last point is it like raises up at the end. So then we went into Uber on the last point, and we didn't realize the point had actually gone 3 levels up. And we just couldn't get up there. Just out of reach. Oh, fantastic! So yeah, if I knew that beforehand, then that would have been nice. And then I remember the second round everyone went straight to E, and for some reason our team was just like, where's the team? I can't find, where is the team? I don't know. And we just lost in like 2 seconds. Like, oh, fantastic. So I didn't have a great...
The Beatles were on your team?
I can't figure it out.
I can't figure it out. Oh, I can't do it, man. It's too tricky. Yeah, no, it was like... I didn't have a great match. But I don't think it was the map's fault necessarily. There was just one really, really annoying pyro who always had Uber. That was just like kind of like taking the fun away from me. But I'll definitely keep trying it in the future. I'm not opposed to Steel type maps. I don't mind Steel. I'm not the biggest Steel fan, honestly. I think it's quite. I quite like to be able to jump around, and you can't really do much of that.
This one has much more open space.
Yeah, that is true. So there are good Steel type maps though. I don't like that one Japanese one that in the last summer
Sulfur.
I didn't like that one, but I like that one that we have on our server.
We have a Cold Era, I think it's called, where it's a winter themed Steel type where you can cap E at any time. I really like that one.
Well, the thing that makes that one good, I think, is that it has like all the points are like really close to each other, so it's like
like a big cluster.
Yeah, and you can kind of like cap any one at each time, which is like, so it doesn't. It's like they're all like connected, so it's not like you're like running back and forth like a map like Junction, which is like horrible. It's like it does feel pretty fun to play.
Do you like Junction, Dane? Is it overhated?
It's a hidden gem, really.
At first, I mean, just looking at the map, it was giving me Junction vibes because it is all entirely indoors, but there are some rooms that are big enough to where you can jump around in them, sort of like Steel. So, I mean, I'm glad that there's that at least, so you're not banging your head on the ceiling trying to jump all over the place. But yeah, I mean, I just now found out that it operates exactly like Steel, so I'm actually more excited to play it than before. I thought it was a little bit more linear because I am a big fan of playing Steel personally.
Here, I would have thought the engineer would have liked Junction, but engineer heaven.
No, I don't really like playing Turtle Engineer very much. It's very boring. That's what you do on Engineer on that map because there's no other option.
Not even Turbine. You're not a big fan of that. Playing the sentry in the one spot where it always goes.
I'm a big
fine
fan
if you go to the middle area and fight out there.
I'm a big fan of maps where there is only one viable sentry spot. It saves me a lot of thinking. And
it's like nearly impossible to push as well.
Yeah.
I think that there are other maps, but I think most of us are really fresh on them, so we can probably move on unless there's anything else you guys want to mention.
I mean, I do have a few things to say about the other maps, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will say, I just really quickly wanted to say, I mean, we already briefly touched on Atom Smash being very familiar to you guys, but I kind of wish that more people would play player destruction maps even after they become like delegated to the alternative hell, the purgatory where nobody sees them. Because well, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is people should definitely keep making player destruction maps, and Valve should definitely keep adding them, because eventually they might make its own category so that I can actually play it more often, because I actually really like player destruction a lot. It's like the perfect TF2 version of a DM server where like there's still an objective, but the objective is basically to kill people, and that is cool. And I want to see more of that. So yeah, people should keep making player destruction maps. That's the only thing I wanted to say about that.
But my favorite player destruction is definitely Galeria, the nucleus like conversion. That one is so good. I think that one should be a year round.
I think I was saying this in that video. I remember where it's like player destruction. It's such a fun, unique take on like team deathmatch. That
yeah,
like of course like TF2 could just do team deathmatch, but like that'd be boring.
I am surprised more people aren't like excited to play that kind of thing, because people who really like that kind of thing, they just end up playing something like Hightower, and then they just don't cap. Like you're basically just forcing that kind of experience on a map where that's not the objective. Why don't you just play on a map where that literally is the objective, to kill people?
Exactly.
I don't really get it.
There was a map on the workshop we wanted to add to our server, and it was player destruction Hightower. We wanted to try that out. Like that would work. Like that
would work. Yeah, the map is designed in a way where that would make sense. You know?
It adds flow to like pure deathmatch, I feel, because it's like, then you're collecting these things and you're depositing them, and it feels like you're really contributing to something besides just like turning your brain off and bragging out.
You're like rewarded for killing people as well. You get like health, and like you're like marked as like a leader, and you get like to heal people around you just by like fragging out, which is like pretty cool.
Right.
But it's like,
yeah, I guess if people didn't want to have to focus on any objective at all, then yeah, it wouldn't be for them. But I think it's a good middle ground, and I think that TF2 definitely needs that kind of thing more out in the open for people to have as an option.
No, I agree 100%. I think it's just there's not that many player destruction maps right now.
No, yeah. I just want them to make more.
They're out there. So. Oh, they are out there. I've seen quite a few of them. I know a lot of obscure maps, and there is quite a few out there. It's just that like Valve.
Well, let me reword it. I think that more should be added to the game officially, so that people are more exposed to them.
Yeah,
because they're
100%.
I mean, I'm one of the people.
Events.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of these people, but not very many people go out of their way to play community maps during the year. So, yeah. Have you played Canavriel? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's the 5CP map.
Oh, I played a little bit of that.
I was not a big fan of that one.
It was all right. I didn't play much of it, to be fair. I was kind of like it was that night when we were doing that thing with Sam.
Yeah, no, we were talking about we set him up on a blind date.
Yeah, I was playing TF2 and like trying to help him out with his game at the same time, so I was kind of distracted. But I did play it for a bit, and it seemed all right. Like I didn't see anything like terribly wrong with it.
Yeah, it looks cool, but I played it, and this was my experience. I played it once, and we stalemated 3 times, and all 3 times it was because we were either attacking or defending the last point. And I can't really tell if that's just because it's 5CP in a pub, because that actually does happen in 5CP pubs a lot, or if it's just that, like most 5CP maps, they just designed the last point to be like impenetrable, because that was my experience. We literally could not cap last, and then when we defended it, they could not cap last, and I felt like the teams were pretty like damn even, so I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, it looks good though. I like bright maps because darker maps make it harder to see people, so I like that it's like a bright sunny map with a bunch of white walls everywhere, so you can see people and shoot them. What's the other ones that we haven't talked about?
There's Megaton, the one with the big nuke in the middle, the King of the Hill one.
Yeah, the nuke animation's pretty sick, but it's like a sniper hell. Like
I was about to say that. Yeah,
I haven't even played it. I've only had a few people tell me that my suspicions about this are correct, but I literally, the moment I looked at the map, like I opened it up in game, I was like, wait, why is it just one big flat area with two buildings? Like it reminds me of Two Fort, where like there's just gonna be snipers on the battlements and then people just like in the middle getting sniped. Like it doesn't really look like that much fun, especially if you don't really like playing against sniper. But if you like playing sniper, check out Megaton. You just go to you just go to your building and shoot the other sniper in the other building, and that's the map.
it's like Two Fort, but the objective is in the sight line of the snipers on the battlefield.
Oh, good. Yeah, great.
They should have their own.
Exactly what I've wanted. Actually,
They should have their own section on casual where they take all the sniper hell maps and just call it Sniper Wars. So the sniper mains can just pick that and go off.
It's the only selectable class.
Yeah.
I played it and I played sniper on it and I found like about 4 god spots where you can just nobody can touch you and you can just kill anybody on the map.
Oh, fantastic!
So, yeah, that's great. But it looks great. Playing as the other classes is good.
Yeah, all of these maps look awesome. Like doesn't have that issue that I think like occasionally, like when they make an update, there's just one map where they're just like, how did that get in? Like standouts are like Whatville, obviously, and like maybe to some extent like Brazil when it got added, and like last year that one map that looks like a CS:GO map that everybody was like complaining.
Was it Venice?
Venice, yeah, Venice. There seems to always be one map where everybody's like, why? How this looks very strange and plays very strange. That didn't happen this year. I think all of them like at least make sense to TF2, so that's good. You know.
I was thinking like there's been so many especially during Smithmas and Scream Fortress, there's so many payload maps that get in that are just like, what the hell am I playing? Like the payload maps that just like aren't well designed. I can't like properly like vocalize this, but it's like there's payload maps that aren't like unplayable, but they're just like, I don't know. There's
strange.
So many, and there's so many of them. Like I think we have like 10 at this point. I don't know where they're coming from.
What was that one that we played, Indy, that was like Payload Race and has its own horseman boss, and it was just like completely and utterly broken?
I can't remember.
I don't remember its name. That's not good. Like back in the day, I used to back when I was a little wee lad, I used to love Halloween. I used to know all the maps. Nowadays, there's so many, I just can't. I just cannot. It's like... And a lot of them are just like really forgettable, unfortunately. But I'm hoping for the future. This update is good. It's good signs for this year.
Exactly.
I think the last map that we didn't specifically talk about was Odyssey. I think it looks awesome. I think it's like probably the most recognizable. Like that was the only map besides Crash's map that got added where I was like, oh, I've seen people play that one before.
That's like the Greece one, right? The one
that
looks like Greece.
Looks cool.
I played that just a while ago. Oh my, it's like one of the most beautiful maps I've ever seen in TF2.
I've played this one as well. Yeah, no, this is a really good one.
Yeah, love the verticality. Again, I love the white walls everywhere so you can see what you're shooting at, and the sun's out, shining, warming your back up. Yeah. I haven't played it though, I mean it could be awful, but I like it.
I've heard that it's really
yeah, my bad.
Yeah, sit down, little bro. All right, so I heard that like it's very skewed towards offense. Like offense has a like real advantage over defense. But I've had some like good fights on there. I did notice that as offense, you can get to the last point pretty easily, but like both of the rounds I played, like we couldn't cap the last point.
Well, just looking at it, I feel like the reason why that is because in a lot of payload maps, blue is starting from like a lower position and has to push it up a hill, so to speak. You do that very slightly with upward, for example, and then like you think of like first points for like Badwater or whatever. Red has such a huge like height advantage on their spawn. This entire map is a downward slope. Like you literally start at the top and then you push it down a hill to the end. So I think
downward spiral.
Yeah. I think that is probably a big reason why it's like that. But because of the verticality, it's like red can still get up on those ledges. Like you can rocket jump on top of walls and stuff and shoot down. So it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've never thought about that. Like the fact that you have to go downwards instead.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot with blue having an advantage because, like, as Obi-Wan Kenobi once taught me, having the high ground is important, in an advantage situation.
Unless you're underestimating someone's power, but
Of course. Yeah.
Unless you are Darth...
I would advise them to not try it in that situation, though.
That is true.
Unless you are Darth Vader, who shouts no. No! No!
Me and my spawn room after I respawn.
Oh, then you can use the angry taunt. There you go.
Exactly.
Yes, there it is.
It all comes full circle.
Game banana, get it up, honestly. No!
Anyway, I think that's all of the maps. I mean, we very briefly touched on Cashew area. I'm never going to be able to say that right.
You talking to me?
It's Cashew's map.
Oh yeah, your name is Cashew. Yeah, that one looks fun too. The water everywhere is going to be fun for Power Sharks, which are making a return. Maybe that can segue into talking about the only major balance change that we've seen in this update. In any update for the past 7 years, which is the gas passer got buffed.
I wanted to mention that. Yeah, there was something interesting I noticed from this. They didn't actually say they buffed it or anything. Apparently, they said they fixed it. I don't know. Yeah. So. That basically means that it was supposed to do that this whole time, but only now, 7 years later, that we forgot to put that in.
They couldn't fix that in Blue Moon, I guess.
No,
right.
So that was supposed to be there that whole time, and only now they realized.
Yeah, I've seen some nutty clips from people pulling off some stuff with it, so it's cool that the gas passer is being used on the day that the update came out. I joined a server and I almost immediately got gas passed. I felt like an MVM bot. I didn't understand what was going
on. Jungle Inferno, like flashbacks.
Yeah.
People are saying this is like the return of the extinguisher.
I don't want to go that far. It's no pop and sting, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, it's more like watch the clock and then sting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean,
until you're like old and gray.
I'm just glad that weapon has a use now, because I think it was actually one of the most useless weapons in TF2.
Worthless.
It was like you could wait to charge that might set your enemy on fire, or you can just spam the scorch shot and do it way better. So I mean, I haven't used it yet. I would like to. I don't think it's gonna be as crazy as people are hyping it up to be. It's because of how fucking long it takes to charge that thing. But
well, have you used that, Dane?
Well, and also a lot of people probably didn't think about the fact that if you try and use that combo of using the gas passer and the neon annihilator, if you gas someone, if you hit them with the gas, and then before you can switch to your melee to crit them, if they get damaged by literally anything else, then the gas is going to stop being on because it's just going to transfer. Because I think with the gas, the whole gimmick is that if somebody is gassed, that means that if they take damage, they are set on fire for a full afterburn, right?
Yeah, yes. That's the gimmick.
So I'm pretty sure that removes the gas from them when they get set on fire. So it's you can't really super reliably do it, because if they get damaged even once by anything before you can hit them with the melee, it's just straight not going to work. So I don't know. Maybe in a 1v1 situation, it might be good. But if you're going to be doing that, you might as well just use the extinguisher.
Exactly. Well,
yeah.
Or flare punch, or literally.
I mean,
else.
Does Pyro need more close range tools? He is that. He is the close range class. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
I mean,
it's not
cool.
going to replace anything. Yeah, it's not going to be the new meta, but it is nice at least to where it is an option that people can use if they just like using the neon annihilator in general. If they're, for example, on one of the many maps that just got added that have water everywhere. If you're already going to be using the neon annihilator, you might as well just use the gas passer also, because it just works with it. So
Yeah, gives it a use, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good change, but I don't think it will. I don't think this is the pyro buff we've been waiting for. Or
No.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I could say about that change, really.
No,
I was just trying to think of if there's any other weapons that don't function properly, but nothing's coming to mind. I'm pulling a blank. Do you guys know?
Indeed, we are an hour into the podcast, and we still have 3 other big topics. Just like,
Well,
you might want to move on from the summer update.
It's okay if we go over time. It's fine. Okay. Now it's time.
Whoa.
Now it's time to talk about something directly related to you, Dane. It's your old takes. It's time to revisit them.
Okay.
See how they've changed. Will you stand up to the pressure of that is the new TF2 audience?
Yeah, I'm excited about this because there are a lot of things I've said in older videos that probably haven't held up over the years, but I'd be more than willing to talk about it. Yeah. What do you got?
Let's start with a really easy one. Are you still firm on your harsh stance on random crits?
My harsh stance? What, that they should just not be in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, your harsh, brutal stance.
Brutal.
I personally don't think it's that brutal, but yeah. I still think that would be beneficial. I mean, the test has been done. If you've played on Uncle Topia, you'd know. Like, it doesn't really change the atmosphere of TF2 all that much. In fact, it doesn't really change it at all. It's very much just an extra little thing that only I think serves to overall negatively impact people's experience. I mean, every once in a while it can be funny, but I don't think that it's that important to the funniness of the game. When it comes to at least my like funniness factor of playing TF2, like a very, very, very small sliver of that is like random crit related. Most of it is just the fact that the game is funny. So I don't know. I've held that opinion for basically my entire TF2 career. It's just that I guess I'm just less aggressive about it these days because people have just heard it so many times that it's like, why even lean into it, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people nowadays with their random their random crit takes cite your video like as like the main sort of like bullet to like kill like all random crits. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
like,
the video
it's
more or less has
gun.
been... Yeah. Well, I don't think that it's the smoking gun if you want to point to like where that opinion came from, because people have been having that discussion of like whether they should be in the game or not long before I ever made that video, or long before I even started making TF2 videos at all. But it is intended to be a video that encapsulates like all of the reasons why random crit should be removed for anybody who is like interested in finding out why that opinion even exists, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I do want to say that I saw your video on a reacted to by someone, a reaction video where it's this guy and his whole gimmick is that he's never played TF2. So
I know exactly who you're talking about. He's like an ex-military guy. He's reacted.
Military react.
Dude, that guy is insane. He's reacted to like 5 of my videos. I don't understand why. It's so funny.
They're like game mechanic related.
Yeah, I don't get it. I haven't watched them all. It's like actually kind of like, I love cringe stuff, but it's like too cringe for me to watch it, mostly just because it's my video. But it's like, dude, like this is such a stretch. Like your experience does not translate very much to a video game like this. I don't understand what the point of this is.
I find it so funny every time he reacts to like a fucking TF2 video. He's like, we don't do that in the military. Like you'll see like the heavy eating a sandwich while like people are shooting at him, and he's like, well, we wouldn't do this. We'd probably find a like place to do our rations, you know?
Yeah. It almost kind of comes off as like a bit, like that's what I wanted to believe at first. I was like, this guy's just fucking on, like he's just fucking around. He's like parodying like reaction channels, right? But I don't think it's a bit anymore. I think it's real.
No, it's real, which makes it so much more funny. I fucking love him.
Yeah.
There was one where it's like a soldier rocket jumping. I think he was probably reacting to like Lazy Purple or something. He was like, yeah, this is a no-go in the military.
It's like, oh, really? No.
Are you sure, man?
Can you double check?
I've watched a couple of them, and there's just like, there's no, like, it might be harsh to this guy, but there's no real like insight. He just goes like, that wouldn't happen. We don't do this. It's like, okay.
And he says he watches a 30-minute video on random crits. Like, what?
Do you remember what he like even said in that? If you even watched it, I haven't even watched it.
I don't think I watched that specific one, but I have seen that he has reacted to a few of my videos, so it's not surprising that he did that one.
Shout out to that guy.
We don't have to worry about this. We don't have to worry about this in the military. We should. We should ask about the military background.
Ask him about TF2 balance, like updates and stuff like that.
Well, how would he change TF2 to make it more military realistic?
Yeah,
it would be like that beta TF2 or whatever, where it was like, what
like
TF2 was supposed to be. Yeah,
Brotherhood of Arms. Yeah,
you would have loved that.
It's been his favorite game of all time. Just like in the military, for once.
Yep, that's what I would have done.
Anyway, let's get back on topic. Stop talking about military reacts.
So, Party, you wrote down in the notes Wrangler. What does this mean?
Well, no, Dane had a take about the Wrangler. He said it's overpowered, right?
Yeah. I've heard quite a few.
Is that another one? Is that another one that you wanted to ask me about, or are you just bringing that up?
No,
it's written under old takes, so I'm asking.
I said
Party
you
about
said
it 'cause he
these
wrote it.
good. Yeah, because there was a lot of people who I think a lot of people disagreed with some of your like change of like removing the shield. I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of people. There was. I remember to bring him up again. Grouchy in his video, he said that like what was his change? Because I quite liked his change as well.
I don't know.
Indy, you remember, don't you?
Well, he didn't get rid of the shield completely. He just like made it like not absorb as much damage.
No, he like balanced it in a way where it was like really easy to kill the engineer behind it, and then it would.
Your effective health, like your effective health dropped down to like 80, I think. So like a rocket kills you.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I'd be fine with that if you were to make some change to it. I'm not. I guess my stance on like changing the Wrangler isn't really all that like hard nosed. I honestly don't really care that much what they do to it, as long as it just fixes the problem, which is that it's just too easy to abuse it. So I mean, as long as there's some counterplay that you can very easily do if you see someone using the Wrangler, like the one that what's his name suggested, Grouch suggested. Something like that would be fine with me. I don't think that it's my way or the highway on that thing.
He did also
just make it not so like brain dead easy to abuse. Like it can single-handedly shut down an Uber most of the time.
He did also add a stat where sentry jumping it deals like no damage to the engineer. I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I also like that as well. I think in general, like you could just add that to the Wrangler now, and it would be great, without changing anything else.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't play a lot of engineer, but I play a lot of soldier. So the Wrangler is like my worst enemy. It's like when you Uber and then like there's like 3 sentries in your face and they've all got the Wrangler. It's like literally just like slamming like your car directly into a brick wall. It's like so annoying.
Right? Yeah.
I think engineer is like strong on his own and like strong already enough on his own in pubs.
Right.
Honestly, I don't.
Switching to the direct hit and hitting a fat 30 on
that's so. Like, weapon items in the game that like increase like what is it like the like increases like defense. They always really annoy me. I think like hitting like 75 damage on a pipe on a demo night just for him to charge into my face and get like a crit. It's just like I actually cannot stand that. It really annoys me.
Resistances,
resistances. Not it's not as bad as like stun mechanics in like other games, but it's like
I would say that like the Wrangler is one of the like probably 2 or 3 weapons that I think definitely need to be nerfed or changed, like really badly. Like like S tier as far as like this needs to be changed in order for the health of the game. The other one falls into that same category of like unfairly defensive weapons, and that's the vaccinator.
Oh yeah,
I think needs to be changed as well.
That one's just like it's like it literally is like how powerful it is depends on like how many like players are on the other team, because if they or like how all their like class, like what classes they're playing, which is like something that like you cannot inherently control. You can't control what classes other people are gonna play, and it's just like, oh god, it's just
Well, it's like the Wrangler problem, which is I think goes against like a fundamental design choice of TF2, which is if you're good enough at the game, you can single-handedly take something down, no matter what you're doing. You just can outskill someone, basically. You can make that choice to do that as an individual person. You don't actually have to rely on your team all that much. In other words, you can carry in this game very easily if you get good at it, which I think is very cool. But the Wrangler makes it so if there's a soldier who falls into that category of like they can carry, they can basically just one-man army through an engineer's nest if they play it right. The Wrangler kind of negates that a lot. Like it basically just says like, oh, you actually can't do that now. You're not allowed to do that. I know you spent a lot of time in this game and you've worked very hard at building up this kind of skill, but I'm just going to negate that very easily by pressing 2, and now you can't do it anymore. It's not very fun, and it kind of goes against like what I said, a very fundamental like aspect of what makes the game fun. And the vaccinator is the same way, although it's a little bit more teamwork based on the vaccinator's part. But I mean, if you can recognize that there's one person on the other team who is like the one-man army who's like carrying their team, you can basically just say like, you're not allowed to do that anymore. I'm now going to play vaccinator. I'm going to only use the resistance of the class that you're playing right now, and now you can't play anymore. And that's really like annoying, and that should definitely be changed and redesigned, you know?
Yeah. Is it just me, but is he turned into a robot?
Yeah, you are roboting a bit.
Oh, so are you, Indy. It might be Discord.
About when did I do that?
Just like,
we heard most of what you said, but I think Discord's.
I think it's Discord because you're doing it as well, Indy. Just when we're doing the podcast, fantastic. Oh, there he goes. Oh, now he's back.
Hello.
Let me do that as well.
Yeah, I just need to.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, just in case it's like that. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, did you get what I was saying?
Yeah, I did get what you were saying.
I was gonna say with the vaccine, I had a little bit of a phase where I started playing competitive TF2 as in Valve comp. I was queuing into it every day, and what made me stop is one day I kept getting queued in with the same enemy medic on the team every single time, and he was like a master vaccinator, and it was just impossible to play, so I just like quit.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. Yeah, like I said, I think that changing those kinds of like hyper defensive, shutting down like individual players who are just trying to play the game kind of weapons should be rebalanced or fixed or redesigned or whatever. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. What else do you got on that list?
We got class limits.
Also,
are you?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
I was gonna. No, I'll bring it up later. We need to do the typical colors mechanic diagnosis later.
With class limits, that's the part of Uncle Topia that people like the least, at least from what I've seen. From what I've seen,
it's like the people who like it don't really mind it at all. But like a lot of people, I know there's people like, oh, I don't want to have to like wait to play my class, even though it's like I think it's free max, which isn't like that bad.
Yeah, it is 3.
Like I feel like you could.
I very rarely have run into that situation personally, and I play on Uncle Topia quite a lot, obviously. So I don't know. I think a lot of the criticisms of that kind of thing I think come from people who theoretically think that could be a problem, but I'm very I pay a lot of attention to the feedback that my servers get, and the class limits thing actually is very much not the thing that I hear complained about. People only ever complain about the maps.
Yeah. The map selection is pretty thin on there. At least like voting wise.
Well, yeah, they're usually mad that people vote for popular maps, which I can't really do anything about. People are just going to vote for the popular maps, but that is like I'm just making an example of like you'd think that I would hear more about it, which is why I haven't removed it, is because it isn't complained about that much. Because if you want my opinion on it, I personally don't really think it's that big of a deal. I like it personally, and I think that it actually does help contribute to the health of a game. But if enough people complained about it, then I would remove it. But they don't.
I think from what I've noticed about people who complain about the class limits, I've noticed it's people who actually like say they don't play on Uncle Topia who complain the most, which is like kind of like counterintuitive. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I will say that is like a consistent thing across all criticisms. Well, not all, but most criticisms that I hear about those servers is it's usually people who don't play on them. And you can tell that they don't play on them because a lot of the stuff that they complain about actually isn't true. But yeah.
It's like complaining from like across the fence.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I think that when it comes to that kind of thing, I think people got it in their head that the servers were a certain way, and then they're just like, I'm never gonna go there because they're that way. But the only reason why they think that is because they just heard it from other people. They haven't actually tried it themselves. That's my theory, because I don't know, reading some of that criticism, I'm like, I don't know, man. That's never my experience, and a lot of people really like playing on the server still. So I don't get it. But...
Yeah, from what I've heard, like I think the consensus around Uncle Topia is that it's one of the better like community server hosters. From what I've seen, the only thing I hear people complain about regularly is like there are some diehard random crit fans who like really want it on.
yeah, that's fair.
Which is like fair enough. There's I hear a lot of people complain that like they can't get into the servers, like they're always full. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that is true. Which is such a funny complaint, because it's just like, sorry that the servers are popular. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah,
I can't really justify opening more when they're already so fucking expensive already.
From our experience hosting a TF2 server, it's usually either your server has 0 players or it's like nearly full. So it's like, people don't want to join an empty server. That's the thing.
Right. That is true. And I will say, if you're one of those people that complains about the servers always being full, I promise you, if you just like join an empty server and just like go AFK and like or just practice your rocket jumps or watch a video or something, people will join. That's almost all the time that I play Uncle Topia, I do that. I just join an empty server, and then eventually one person joins, 2 more people join, and within 20 minutes it's a full server. Like, you just have to believe. You have to believe in the seeding power, you know?
Yeah, no, Mindy, when we were recording the Open Fortress video,
there's a TF2 mod called Open Fortress, and it has a lot of empty servers. But the thing is, there's like 20 people at any given time staring at the server browser, wanting to see a game with players in it. So if you just join and wait, it'll fill up.
It will fill up really quickly. It's like I just say, hey Andy, do you want to just like 1v1 for a bit? And they're like, sure. We 1v1, and then suddenly we've got a full server, and it's good because it's a really fun game. It's like really good, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like you just gotta be. I think, what was it I said? You gotta be the party star.
Yeah.
Party.
You gotta be the first.
I think maybe whether they realize it or not, I think a lot of people just expect that they think that servers just all of a sudden are full. Like, there's just all of a sudden there's 24 people that decide to play all at the same time. That's not true.
I think casual has a thing to do with that mentality.
Yeah,
the ability to queue into something and then just get selected with a bunch of people.
Yeah, true.
Like made that expectation.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, casual mode has probably given people certain expectations.
Yeah, I think that goes part of it, because back in quickplay, getting put in empty servers would happen if you just like let the thing just pick the map for you. Back in the day, but usually people would join.
While we're at it, there's also a take you had where you said that casual is better than quick play. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that maybe people who are critical of that opinion hear me saying that casual is perfect and quick play is bad, but that's not my opinion. I think that casual mode overall has better it's kind of like it's just winning by a little bit when you compare the two, because quick play had a lot of problems too, and there are a lot of people who maybe have played during both eras and have maybe a little bit of a rose-colored glasses way of looking at quick play, but quick play was very much abusable by bad actors, and there was like incentive to change the way that you get into TF2 servers because of that. And I think that Valve decided that their way of changing that would be to just introduce a completely new system. Now, like hindsight, maybe they should have just like changed quick play to be better and like eliminated the possibility for those people to abuse the system, because basically what was the big problem was you very easily could get put into community servers that were horrible. You would get put into community servers that had like ads every 20 seconds that like pretended like they were full, but they had bots in them that like, I don't know, glitched your computer out, fucking like played really annoying sounds, like downloaded shit to your computer you didn't want. I mean, like there was a lot of different ways to abuse that system. So I don't think that quick play was perfect by any means, but there were obviously a bunch of other stuff about it that was awesome, like the ability to just join a server that you wanted to join was great. And you could switch teams whenever you wanted to. That was awesome. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, but I think casual mode is great because it's just easy. You can just queue into a server and join, and you're just in a server with 24 people, and you can play a specific map that you want to play. It's great. But obviously there's other problems with it. Like it's very easily abused by bots. Obviously that's a huge one. Like you can't switch teams, which is annoying. Auto balance is annoying. I mean, there's a bunch of like, there's pros and cons of both systems. It's just that I think I just prefer casual a little tiny bit more. That's basically my opinion, like specifically, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I played a bit of quick play. I personally, I think I'm a little bit more quick play because I never just like let the game like do the thing where it just like search, because I kind of just use it as like a server browser, because you could do that. You could like, there was like an options list and you could like pick how you want, like what you wanted from your server, and then you could just like pick one, and you can basically, there was like, you could tell which ones are like community and which ones are Valve, and I would just pick the Valve ones.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I mean they did get a bit tricky at one point. They would put in little things. They did that one thing
where
they
would trick you into joining them.
There was one time where you think you join in a full server and then it's just full of bots. That's the worst one. I remember there's a lot of people saying like quick play was perfect. I said this once. I didn't mean to, like, I said it was the best when it's not the best, really. My reference point is that 1-star video. If you want to know how, like, what it was that was the worst. You know, I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about.
I know exactly what I was about to bring that up. I was like, that's a great like kind of time capsule into highlighting exactly what was wrong with the system and why Valve was incentivized to change it. But obviously that was a video that was like basically just highlighting all of the bad things about it. It's not all that the system was. There were also, it also functioned quite well, and there were things about like the types of servers that you would get on when it did work that we probably took for granted back then. Like I said, the ability to change teams or sit in spectator or whatever. So I mean, yeah. I don't really miss that team stacking is gone. Although team stacking does have a different form, which is 6 stacking in a party, which I'm not a huge fan of. That's probably one of the things that I like the least about casual mode actually these days.
I wish it would like, split you into teams, honestly. That's like isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're gonna 6 stack, it should put 3 people on each team. Like I don't really like that you can 6 stack one team and that it'll always put you on the same team. And there's no way to like not do that. I don't like that.
I think the most fun I have in TF2 is...
I was about to say that the most... I think it's way more fun to play against your friends, because then I can like challenge them to a duel or like target them or something.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it just encourages this kind of annoying mentality of like people getting together in parties of 6 and just kind of dominating servers. And you can always tell whenever you join a server when you're playing by yourself, and you can see, oh, there's definitely a 6 stack on the other team. This is going to be annoying.
They're doing some Soundsmithian type bit where all their names are like matching.
Yeah, right.
Some sort of meatloaf going on.
Yeah, there's a meatloaf being cooked.
No, like some of the most fun games I've played of TF2 have just been lobbies with like where I'm fighting with my friends against my friends. I've honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I mean, that's why community servers are so valuable these days. Is you have the option of doing that. You have the ability to switch teams and stuff like that. I think that casual mode is slightly better than quick play because, in a way, it kind of made community servers a little bit more valuable, at least the good ones, because
that's true.
If you have the options, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just kind of want to like, I don't know, if you don't want to think too hard about what you're about to do and just want to play TF2, like casual mode's there. You just press a button and you're in the server. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to like a very refined TF2 experience, like the server browser is still there, and there's a ton of really quality community servers out there to give you that experience. So I think that it's just overall good for that reason. I mean, there's a bunch of other reasons, but yeah.
Yeah, with community servers, in lots of ways they've gotten much better. There's I do kind of miss those, like, because I grew up in an era where like my first TF2 experience was playing in a Trade Minecraft like servers. So and they've kind of like been dying off, and I really do miss those. Some of those maps and the stories behind those maps. There's actually some really interesting stuff there, honestly. Like people did make those maps, even though they're stupid. People clown on them, but people did make those, and they are quite interesting. I miss those, but at the same time, I feel like getting a good TF2 experience is better than ever. In the community server, like authentic TF2 experience, because like back in the day, I think the community server browser was just kind of laughed at as like, oh, you want to play like Surf or Prop Hunt or like Trade Plaza, but like nowadays, I feel like there's actually like a lot of good community servers, except just like Sky or like, I don't know, was there any other good ones back in the day? Indeed, I can't really think.
I will say, during quick play, I played a bigger. I feel like I played a bigger variety of maps.
Yeah, that's
whereas
one
with
thing,
casual, even though I have like 50 maps ticked, I usually like only play on about 5 to 10. Because it's like, I really like maps like Doomsday, and I always have Doomsday like ticked, but I never get into Doomsday. So it's like, well, whereas back then I distinctly remember when I felt like doing some Doomsday, I just found like a Doomsday server through quick play, and maybe
that would be a way to enhance casual mode, would make it so that you can actually find Valve servers and join them through the
I would love
browser.
that. That would be so better.
That would be great.
Because then you could just make your own quick play, basically. Because like that.
Exactly.
The big reason I like quick play more just was it just gave me more options of what I wanted to choose. I have just like the game choosing for me, which I get.
For sure.
That's nice. That's nice for getting into like because it'll just like if you want to get in a game of upward quick play, casual will probably find that quickly for you. But if I want to get in like there are some maps that are really good. Here's a good one. Selbin was really popular. It's a really fun map with the seal. But then after summer update, they drop it in alternative game mode, so now no one plays it, which is like really sad. I went to get like footage for it one time, and I'm not even joking. I was queued for about 5 hours straight trying to get into a single game. This was before like they just fixed like all the bots. This was before
that.
It
was before that.
Yeah, I think it's been a bit easier now, but back then it was like like 5 hours of spent queuing. I was like, God, I wish I could just like pick the server myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I just thought of an example of like something that has been not working properly, I guess, quote unquote, not working properly for a while that Valve could fix. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the matchmaking settings for casual, there's a little checkbox that you can that you should be able to check off, but you can't because it says coming soon over it. But it says keep party members on the same team, and you can check it off. But you can't. Like I said, it says coming soon. So maybe they should make that feature available.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Yeah, when will it come,
there you
please?
go. Now we're doing fixes.
It's been coming
soon for since 2016. Like, if you just add that, I think it would probably solve a lot of the problems that I have with the team stacking thing. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they could do to improve casual, but I don't think it would be to remove the way that casual mode works. I think that they just need to bring back, some of the, like you said, options that that quick play gave. That would be good.
Yeah, that would be it. Because I think casual's good at finding you a game that's like full and that's like that's not like a really obscure game mode that's like popular. But it's just that like it takes away a lot of your control, which is just kind of like which is not.
No, yeah, I'm all for adding more control to the player for sure. I've never said that quick play fucking sucked or anything.
Nah. It was fucking terrible.
On the topic, we should probably go over community quick play, which has been like a thing.
That's pretty good.
It's not, but it is something that's come out. But I have noticed that it keeps putting me in Uncle Topia. But
I think there's some sort of inside job going on over here.
Yeah, I don't know, Dane.
Well, that's Mastercom's, right?
Yeah, Mastercom.
I don't know that person.
Yeah, how convenient.
No, yeah, that seems pretty good. I think it's been putting people in our server, which is pretty cool. Like sometimes we'll just check and it's just full, and sometimes we'll check it's just empty.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good system. You have to it checks basically it just checks all the community servers, make sure they're using maps that are in the game, no plugins or any crazy plugins, and then it will just put you in a normal game of TF2 than a community server, which is I think is definitely good. I think is very beneficial. A lot of people using it.
What's ironic is they call it community quick play, but it's actually ironically way better than what quick play had, because quick play never had any of those options to check off make sure you don't put me in a server with add-ons or whatever.
Yeah.
So
no.
I mean, I think that it's awesome that that exists, but I hope Valve maybe sees something like that and says, hey, maybe we should add that to our server browser. Yeah.
I think we should move on to the biggest take that we actually had an entire episode about this take of yours.
Really?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be. It just kind of we just kind of went off about it.
It's just
no. You know what? It was actually we actually flew out to meet each other. All right, and then this was our first live episode we did with a camera on, and we're all in the same room, and we're supposed to just talk about the podcast and stuff. We just ended up talking about this for half of it for no reason at all. It just kind of came. It just kind of came up. It wasn't premeditated at all.
Yeah, we were supposed to be talking about our trip and stuff, but then we just went off on it.
Okay. Well, I hope I don't retread it. I mean, I'll speak briefly on it, but if you guys have already talked at length about it, then I won't.
Well, we are curious about what you think now. So it is your opinion on trickle down balancing.
Oh yeah.
Reaganomics. Daneonomics.
Yeah. I mean, to make it super crystal clear, I think Reaganomics is a bad comparison, and if I had to go back and
I was gonna say it's not a very good person to copy their homework off of.
No, I think at the time I just barely understood what the point of Reaganomics was, but I've since learned more and more about it, and its lasting effects on the American economy, and obviously that's not good. But luckily, it's just that I borrowed the name. It actually doesn't function anywhere near the same way. But I don't know. I haven't really thought that much about it. But I do think that when it comes to balance philosophy, and this is something that I actually don't even think the Valve participates in. This is just something that I personally think is a good idea. I just think that if you're going to balance a weapon, you should balance it in a way where it cannot be abused by people who have sunk a lot of time into the game to make other people's experience worse. I mean, at the end of the day, your philosophy is supposed to be to make it fun for everyone, and you're making it less fun for people if the weapon is like extremely busted in the hands of like a certain type of person. You know what I mean? And that's essentially what trickle down balancing means to me, at least. So if you're asking my opinion on that, I still think that that's like generally a good idea. But I mean, obviously, I don't think Valve even does that. So I think it's like more of like a theoretical thing.
Well, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even. I think that they did attempt at some point to do it during the or like they did the meet your match update. They attempted to do a little bit of that
with the competitive side, right?
But yeah. But if you ask literally anybody who contributed ideas to that, Valve actually didn't even really listen to any of them. So, yeah, that's why I think that like it's kind of a moot point at the end of the day, because Valve, at the end of the day, is just going to do whatever they want to do, whatever they think works, and whether their balance philosophy is the same or not, I think is like a pretty open and shut case. I think that they literally just base it off of their own internal play tests most of the time, and like maybe some community feedback from all different sources, not just the competitive community. But that was so long ago that I honestly haven't really thought about it very much. So I'm trying to like even come up with my opinion on it on the spot. But yeah, I mean, what was contentious about it between you guys, if you guys had a long discussion about
it? I think it was. I know a lot of people cite that video as like. We'll get this into the next.
We'll get into this later, but
yeah.
Basically, our whole point with it was on our unhinged rant is that
we were like drinking as well, by the way.
we were drinking, but. It's basically that if you balance everything trickle down style, then it ruins a lot of fun that a lot of weapons had. A lot of the examples we listed are the caber. Caber is just kind of sucks now. One that I always say is the old panic attack. I found it way more fun. It wasn't the one we have now is better. Like I'm not denying that. I just thought it was way more fun to like load up however it was like 3 shots and then just blast them all like at once.
It was definitely a more unique weapon. It was more. I think it was more interesting, even though it's arguably worse as a weapon. I still think as like a weapon in casual, just to like have fun with. It's still fun. It was a lot more fun anyway.
It's interesting that the two examples you came up with actually couldn't be more different in terms of like balancing philosophy, though. Because when you mentioned the caber, I think that that one actually probably was a direct response to people using it in a competitive setting to very easily drop medics by just kind of suiciding at them. And obviously like one shot mechanics are tricky to balance.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I understand why they did that, but I do think that they should have like added some other good thing about it in response to that, because just nerfing it wasn't the right thing to do, which is a failing on Valve's part. Generally, I think a lot of the time that people blame trickle down balancing Valve like balance philosophy on a weapon that isn't quote unquote fun to them anymore, it's because Valve did it wrong. I mean, like, I know that's like a shitty excuse, but like nobody ever really talks about the times when it's done right. You know what I mean? The Dead Ringer is a good example.
Yeah.
A lot of people are fine with that change.
I'm fine with that change, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they made that change because of trickle down balancing. Like spy mains in Highlander were using it to basically just infinitely be a distraction. They would rotate between ammo packs throughout the map, constantly just like feigning their death and basically never dying. It was very irritating. And I'm sure it was irritating in pubs too. It's like that's not the only arena in which this abuse happens. So it's
we're having.
Right back, my friend.
Okay, all right.
Hello.
So hello. Sorry about that. Azel's on standby in case that happens again.
Are we back?
I think we're back.
We are
Does this
live
mean
again.
Swishcast is back?
I think so. I think we're live again. I'm
No.
sorry. Let me just double check. I don't know what happened. I'm
on it right now. It looks like everything's all right.
Okay, all right. Sorry about
Hello.
that usually never happens. I don't know what just happened there. I think we got some sort of cyber attack.
I think we're going to be silenced here because we're getting into deep territory.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to stop us.
I think Ronald Reagan shut the stream down.
Yeah. They're talking about his philosophies. You can't have it. Right.
So
we
were talking about trickle-down balancing, and I think this perfectly segues into the next section that we want to briefly cover.
We done already?
Well, is there anything more to say?
Just to sum up my thoughts on it, because I'm not. Valve hasn't balanced anything in a long ass time. The only balance change that's happened very recently was kind of on accident, so it's not really that important of a discussion anymore to me.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I still feel similarly about the philosophy. I don't think that Valve cares as much as even I do about it, so I don't think anyone should worry about the philosophy to begin with. But I think that it's interesting that people do like to kind of pick and choose when it applies and when it doesn't, because like you said that they changed the panic attack to make it more in line with the competitive mindset. But to me, it just sounds like you're saying, oh, they buffed it, therefore it's lost its personality, and therefore it's more competitive or whatever.
I think it just kind of
just more. But I'm just really quick. I just wanted to make the comparison of literally if they buff any other weapon and quote unquote take away their personality, would you blame it on a competitive mindset, or would you just think that it's just because Valve said, okay, well that gimmick didn't work, we should just try something a little bit more straightforward? It's not really as nefarious as you're making it out to be. I don't think.
I don't think it's nefarious at all. I was just saying, it was just no,
I know. I'm pointing out that a lot of people, I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying that a lot of people will use the opportunity to say that the competitive community is ruining the game with their influence, when they're literally not. Valve makes arbitrary decisions in balancing, and you can apply some and you can apply some, you cannot apply some. So
is it live again?
I think so. It should be coming back. I don't know why.
Oh no, hold on.
Oh, there it is. We're back.
Are we back?
We're so back.
My internet's working for.
Just
okay.
Keep trying while I'm trying to get it up.
Right, okay, I think we're back, but if it closes again, I'm gonna let Azel take my place, and the overlay will look shit. If it happens again, just if I stop speaking, then Azel's gonna take over. Okay. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure because last time it's oh, he's gone silent. I'm oh no.
I think we should move on to the next section.
I did want to say about that. A lot of when people talk about that sort of balancing thing, they always just blame the competitive community, which is kind of sad because the competitive community love the game and then don't want to ruin the fun out of it. Obviously, they love the game the most. I think it's just
a mentality that's been popularized nowadays with communities like Fortnite and Overwatch as well. They're always blaming competitive players for horrible balance changes in the games.
Yeah, that's not that isn't it. I think it's Valve's job to decide, okay, what about this weapon is annoying, and what about it makes it fun, and find a balance. Do you know what I mean? Because you can obviously because with the panic attack, I think the old one was a lot more fun, but than the new one. But the thing is, with the new one, they're basically just completely different weapons. They're not even similar at all. They have the only thing that's similar about them is that they pull out fast. That's literally it. If they just made a new weapon and called it the lock and loader shotgun, that would have been cool. And then the panic attack.
I think that might already be a weapon.
Oh yeah, maybe a different name. The rock and shot. and then they made the panic attack, which is just the one it is now. I don't think anyone would have an issue with that at all. That's just, I think that was the point we wanted to make, is that like we don't
right.
Yeah. We weren't.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can say this about like anything when it comes to this game. The filter that all of our feedback passes through at the end of the day is Valve. Valve is in charge of making the decision to do something. So if you
learn from mistakes,
yeah, no, I'm not taking another. I'm not taking another risk.
Okay,
Hey,
are things coming through now?
Waiting.
Hey,
Are things coming through
Oh, okay,
now?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear the.
Yeah, they are.
sound.
They're coming through.
Okay.
Yeah, they're coming through.
Okay.
So don't mind the Halloween assets from last year.
Yeah.
It's just a makeshift because my stream is like my internet. England, something's happening. All right, it's not good. The world is ending.
Okay.
The Halloween assets with the low quality like background of just the previous screenshot.
Okay.
Let's go into. We've already got a few more topics left anyway. We're really ready to wrap up, so it's not
let's finally move past fucking.
Okay, so I've been very excited for this one. Okay, the next section is the Uncle Dane controversy section.
Today we're going to be trying to have you debunk some of the Uncle Dane conspiracies.
I gotta go.
No.
I think my internet. Conspiracies. That's interesting. Oh, I don't actually can't even think of any conspiracies.
There are conspiracies. We dug deep. There are conspiracies out there.
Oh wait, I do think I know of one, but I'm gonna see if you say it. Okay.
Okay. Let me explain. So there's a very now increasingly popular conspiracy theory going around, and I was gonna play clips of it, but I realized that this channel has like 1,000 subs, and I really don't want to send like any hate their way. So I'm just gonna basically paraphrase everything they were saying. But there's a popular opinion now that you are the reason TF2 has gone to shit single-handedly because so Meet Your Match came out and it quote unquote ruined everything. And the time you visited Valve with like UEAK Crash coincides conveniently with Meet Your Match releasing later. And so the theory goes as follows. You came in there and you sat down with some Valve developers and you told them that they need to make the game competitive and that they need to get rid of quickplay and all these other things. And so, hold on, I'm pulling up a screenshot right now. Can you put stuff on screen, Azelle? Or hold on, I'm just going to read this out. I am just going to read this out. It basically says, this comment has 200 likes. It says, if Meet Your Match and Jungle Inferno were the planes that hit the towers, then Uncle Dane was Osama bin Laden.
What an insane thing to say, by the way.
Which was actually crazy.
Which was
200 likes. 200 people read that and said he's spot on.
It was pinned too, right?
To be fair, if I saw that comment, I'd probably like it, even if I don't agree with it. It's just funny.
So that is the conspiracy theory that you have ruined TF2 because you convinced the Valve dev team.
I convinced Valve to ruin it. Yeah, I said I hate this fucking game. Ruin it. They said, okay, we will. Yeah, that's all true.
And it goes further, actually.
Oh yeah,
it goes deeper. This isn't even a joke. It goes deeper. So you coordinated with Valve to rig the Meet Your Match election to make sure that Pyro wins because that's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted.
Why would they do a poll?
You committed voter fraud for the Pyro election. There.
Yeah. Here's a direct quote from this video. Yeah, he says that in the video multiple times, and he also says that the biggest flaw of all democracies is lobbying, and TF2 is no exception.
Lobbying? You mean me making a video?
Yeah, that's basically you sent all of your fans to vote for what you wanted, which is a conspiracy with you working with Valve to ruin the game.
I am curious. I haven't watched that video in a long time, and maybe somebody could tell me if they have watched it recently. But in that video, did I actually say like everybody should vote Pyro?
I don't know.
You might have.
Or did I just say why?
I don't think so.
I want to say that I was very careful to say that this is just why I'm voting Pyro.
Yeah.
And you can make up your mind.
Yeah, no, that is precisely what you say. And calling your video like lobbying is basically like calling that one Casey Neistat video of him going like Hillary Clinton. I am voting for Hillary Clinton. Like that fucking lobbying. Like
right. Yeah, influencing too many people. I don't know. I mean, maybe they don't remember, but even at the time, people were just kind of like mostly
that was sort of the
leaning
consensus.
Pyro anyway. Yeah, before I had even made the video, most people were saying that they were going to vote Pyro because at the time Pyro was considered the worst class in the game by a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird to imagine now because now it's a different class. But yeah, back then Pyro for the pretty much the entirety of the game had been considered a shit class that needed buffs. So that was probably why most people wanted to vote for Pyro. But anyway, obviously, I did brainwash a lot of people. So
it's all true.
And Valve just wanted to do it anyway. Clearly, they just wanted to make pyro weapons for some reason.
Yeah, so they lobbied with you,
and that's why there was a heavy weapon in the pyro update.
That's why they flew you out to Valve because like we want you to convince your audience to vote to pyro.
Another thing was that they say like, oh, the TF2 dev team that was working on Meet Your Match was not the same one that was working on TF2 up until that point. So they were so starved for criticism that they turned to Uncle Dane to provide all the answers for them.
Oh yeah. Well, I can tell you, even back then, Valve didn't really like me all that much. Most of them didn't even know who I was. They used to do tours of their offices for anybody who asked. I mean, I wasn't special. I just had a plane ticket, and both times I was basically accompanied by someone who had more of an in than I did. I think Aggro was the person who did it the first time for me, and then Crash was the other person the second time. So I want to say that's what it was. Either that or I forget. But yeah, the truth is when I spoke to Valve employees or TF2 devs in person, they actually were frustratingly uncooperative when it came to communicating about the game. I would ask them a question and then they would give like a very roundabout answer where they didn't really answer it. It happened so much over the course of my visit that it just eventually became impossible to actually talk to them about anything because they just didn't want to give me any concrete answers on anything. Like it's frustrating, but it's understandable why they wouldn't want to do that. So I get the feeling that they didn't like me because of that, because I was a little bit too inquisitive, and then they had to like basically say stop asking questions so much. And then, of course, now they definitely don't like me at all because I leaked their precious little game. So.
Oh no.
Yeah. But wait, it goes deeper.
Oh, even that. We hit the bottom of the iceberg.
I thought we were done. Sorry, I should have saved that for the end.
When spoken to UEAK Crash about this visit, he said that there were 5 minutes unaccounted for where Uncle Dane was speaking to Valve developers while he wasn't present. so
we're talking about this like it's the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
With who knows what happened in these 5 minutes? I mean, who do we trust? You?
Yeah. Well, did you go to the bathroom or were you like cooperating?
I literally have no idea what he's talking about. I don't remember that at all. This was like almost 10 years ago, man. I don't know.
Well, he wasn't colluding the story. He just like said that as like a fun tidbit. Don't worry.
No, I know. I'm sure that did happen. It's just like I literally don't even remember it. So but I guarantee you, anytime I had an opportunity to talk to the Valve employees, all I was just asking them was like, when is the next update? Like, what's your opinion on this, and this? And they would never give me any answers ever. So I mean. It was pretty much pointless. It was basically just like a fun little Disneyland tour where I got to see where they make the sausage, but that's pretty much it. I wish that I had, more influence over the devs because then I could tell them to remove random crits, right? But I can't. That's the truth of it. That's a little joke, by the way. I wouldn't abuse. I mean, they're not going to listen to me.
Regardless.
I would. He's admitted it.
All right, so it's all true. All right, got it. There it is.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks.
Mm-hmm. I'm in Valve's pocket. Or Valve's in my pocket. That's what it is.
Yeah, get it right.
Valve's in my pocket. Sorry, I don't even know how to do this right. I don't even know how to manipulate the system. So was that it? Was that everything?
Should we move on to the next controversy?
Oh, yes.
There's multiple.
Yeah, we
controversy
have
or controversy or conspiracies? Because
okay. This was a conspiracy. This is the second one is also a conspiracy. Actually, I lied. Okay. This one is a lot more solid. So there is evidence to suggest that Uncle Dane has stolen a video.
Shit!
So
call the police.
I don't even know what you're about to say, but that's definitely true. I'm not even joking.
So TF2ber Breadman 6,000 subs posted a video called TF2's Hottest Takes on September 9th, 2023. And then coincidentally, Uncle Dane made a community post or a tweet about asking people to share their hot takes with him for a video less than a month afterwards. And then he made a video about it on October 29th, 2023. So that's about a month afterwards. So
we get a timeline on screen.
I did not prepare a cork board for this. we know Breadman. He's like a friend of ours, and he like asked like, can you like ask him about that?
Well, I actually do know of Breadman, but I didn't know that he had a YouTube channel. I just know him from playing on my on Uncle Topia. He's like a Uncle Topia regular. If we're thinking, if I'm thinking of the same Breadman,
it might not be the same Breadman.
There are quite a few Breadmen.
Really? Is it spelled Breadman with 2 N's?
Yes.
Yeah.
I put the channel in chat.
Yeah. That guy's he's a regular on Uncle Topia. I used to see him all the time on LA when I used to play in LA before we added Seattle servers. Yeah, I know of this, but I promise you, Breadman, if you're listening, I didn't know you had a YouTube channel and I didn't know you made that video, but I guarantee you, I still did steal that idea from just other YouTubers. You know what I mean? Like that's just an idea that other YouTubers do. I think I've seen like hot takes with like the Smash community. People have made videos about that and stuff like that. I think that's just a format that I was interested in doing. It does suck the timing though. I'm sorry.
What made us think that this was true was that in that video you say something along the lines of like, taking other people's ideas is good actually. And
I do believe that, by the way. Anybody can steal my ideas. I'm not going to be mad about that. And I do think that, like, I don't know, YouTube, it's a little bit more of a communal place, I think. Like, video ideas it's like, I don't know. My opinion on it is much more specific. And this was interesting. It's interesting you bring that up because I think in another podcast, they were really hung up on me talking about that. They were like, wait, why does he believe that? Like, it's because that's what creativity is. You just like take other people's ideas and then you make it your own. That's like literally what creativity is. So I don't. I think it's
the Ludwig Yoinkin twist sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think people get way too. I think it's like very human, obviously, to do this, but I think people get a little bit too attached to ideas and concepts, and they say this is mine. I own this now. And when people do it, especially if they're more successful with it, I can see why people would get upset about it. But at the end of the day, it's like that's just kind of the nature of creating things, you know.
And I do want to clear it up that, like, you know, Breadman is not upset with you at all.
No, I know that's clear. But I know that there are probably
was very funny.
Right. I'm just saying. I know that there are going to be people out there who hear that story and they're like, yeah, that does sound shitty. That somebody else made that idea and didn't get the same amount of attention. But I think it's kind of a nebulous idea, first of all. But I think that everyone can make the same idea, and it will always be different every time because you're applying your own experiences to it. You're applying your own opinions to it. So it's a different experience no matter what you do with it. The idea being the same doesn't really have much to do with that. You're not going to watch like my video and Breadman's video and basically see the exact same thing. They're actually going to be very different.
And they were different. So, you know.
I'm saying with the YouTube, you go to watch people's channels for their own opinion and, identity. So anyone can do a video and it'll probably be like on the same thing and it'll be different. It's not like with like a TV show, like a script where it's like you have like where you could just like copy the characters. It's like you are yourself. You are your own character and you are unique.
Yeah. So there's a guy. I just wanted to bring this up real quick. There's a guy named his name starts with a Z.
Zealot?
It's not Zenith, is it?
Oh no, it is Zenith.
Okay, so we know him. Yeah.
So Zenith has made a bunch of videos where he plays a class that he doesn't main for like 30 days and like documents his experience or whatever. And he had been making those videos a long time before I did. And then I made that same video. I saw that and I said, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. But my video and his video are like completely different experiences because he approaches it in a very specific way, specific to his play style and the way that he likes to think about things. So I generally think that like using other people's ideas, it's such a small part of like making something. What's the most important part is that you are putting your own personality into it and your own experience into it and being genuine about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I think ideas go round and round because while we're at Zenith, he basically took that like challenge concept from El Maxo. So it's
exactly.
It just goes in circles. So it's
and now Maxo took. I think he said on the podcast he took that idea from like the Minecraft community with their like
with the 100 days survival.
It's like 100 days like blank for every game. Like
exactly.
It's like trickle down. It's trickle down content.
Sure. I don't think that applies, but I like it. It's a catchy name, so it works
out. I think those are all of the big conspiracies that I had here.
Right. I had one other conspiracy that you didn't mention.
Yeah, go on.
All right, let's
there are a lot of people, surprising amount of people, who thought that I actually was behind the bot crisis because I wanted people to play on Uncle Topia.
That's
and
I
would make a bunch of money from it or something.
Okay, now that makes sense.
Okay, no, wait, hold on.
Get right, Zell, get the timeline back on screen.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, with everything, and I'm going to put it on screen.
Well, look. Well, I mean, it all lines up. Create a problem, then create the solution. I mean,
what did they say?
Yeah.
What did they say in Wolf of Wall Street? Sell me the pen. It was like, you got to create supply and demand. You know what I mean?
Sell me the TF2 server.
I don't know if that applies to this at all, to what I'm saying. I'm just bringing it up.
It's funny that people think that, because isn't it like a money pit? You're fucking servers.
Like, if that was a conspiracy by me, then it was the worst idea I've ever had, because I've lost like probably tens of thousands of dollars on those servers. I'm not in it for the money. You know what I mean?
I mean, there aren't even any ads, are there?
No, and I won't ever put them on there because I know that that's what makes community servers bad. Like, there's literally no point, I think, in hosting a community server if the point of doing it is to make money. That's just my personal opinion. I don't want to start any drama or anything, but if you're just trying to make a profit, like, there's so many better things to try and make a profit off of besides TF2 community servers, man. Like, you might as well just host them for free if you can do it, and then that's it.
I do think that community servers paying for themselves is a good is like a philosophy I won't ever knock on, because, like, community servers that provide like donation bin and stuff like that, like if you really like
as well, Patreon.
Yeah, and like Uncle Topia does actually have a Patreon that people can decide to contribute to. It's just that it's only putting a dent in the bill. It's not like 100% self-sustaining at this point, and it never has been self-sustaining. And yeah, you're right. I'm not knocking anybody that actually does fund their server with ads. I just think that there are obviously a lot of bad community servers out there where clearly their goal is to make money doing it, not just to sustain the servers, but to make a profit. That was my point.
Yeah, it's not exactly a good grift, is it?
No, not really.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, there's a big theory, one about the Mapmakers, where they're making it, they're working together as a hive mind to bloat the maps with seasonal maps to then farm infinite money off map stamps.
Oh, right. The reason they made that deathmatch game mode in the workshop was so that they would put it in the game and make a killing. Apparently, that's what's happening.
Off map stamps. I don't remember the last time. I think if you buy like 2 map stamps, you get
a month ago,
the stamp hat, don't you?
A month ago, I bought 4 turbine stamps, and I got the stamp hat the next day.
That's how many people are buying them. Yeah.
So yeah, no, infinite money glitch.
Yeah, I mean, people are very creative when they come up with conspiracies around stuff like that. It's very
put
funny.
That creativity into maybe making videos or anything constructive.
How about you make your own maps instead? Then maybe you can join the conspiracy and farm infinite money off map stamps and see how that goes.
Maybe if you make enough videos on Engineer, you also can collude with Valve to ruin Team Fortress.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Anything is possible.
And for some reason I just haven't been able to do it yet. The game is still alive. What the fuck?
It's never too late.
Okay, well then TF2 when TF2 shuts down, then I won't be surprised when Uncle Dane releases his own game and announces it. It's like, come on guys, I've fixed the problem. It's TF2 but good. Hey,
Team
I'm
Fortress
on to
3.
Okay. So basically we have one last topic, which is I'm just going to leave it to Party because he knows a lot more about it than I do.
Right, I need to ask you a question. Have you ever played the Roblox version of TF2?
I haven't. No, I've never. I haven't played Roblox at all. Actually,
you've never played Roblox. Well,
no.
Will you know there is a 1-to-1 recreation of TF2 in Roblox, and in that game they have a class. He's called the Mechanic. I'm going to put him on the chat. All right, get ready for him.
Okay.
Get ready.
The game, you would be surprised, but the game is actually good because it is just like exactly TF2. Like, well,
yeah,
obviously,
I've heard that it's like surprisingly well done.
Yeah, no, we had the devs on last time. Like it's like, and it takes it in its like own direction. There he is. There's the Mechanic. I put him in chat.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This game, if you would believe it, has unique engineer weapons, and some of them are actually good. And I want to get your opinion on some of them. All right, hang on.
Like if they were in TF2 instead of this.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one of my favorite ones. What do you think of this? It's called the Gut Buster. It gives you so it has like a kind of like a ramp up thing where you get like it gives you more speed and health every time you get a kill. However, the big thing I think that makes it cool is when your like sentry is shooting a target, you can do like mini crits with it. And like basically you can like wombo combo of like the mini, like it does like loads of damage basically. However, you lose
cool.
25%.
That's very similar to what they tried to encourage with the Widowmaker. I think if the Widowmaker mini crit on sentries like target, then it would be like even more busted. But yeah, lower max health on wearer is pretty. I mean, if you wear with the gunslinger, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it, like offsets it.
Yeah, exactly. So what I've been playing the game a lot recently because I've been working on a video on it, and I've been playing a lot of the Mechanic. And if you play it with the gunslinger, it's actually like really good. Like you'd be like you can just do this like 1-2 combo, just like the mini sentry like 8 damage. You run in, get 130 damage mini crit, kill at any like class instantly.
Yeah, that would be really. I think that would be really powerful. Yeah, I think that after people get really familiar with it, and this is like only if they applied it to regular TF2. I think a lot of people would start to complain about it, but because mini crits there's no fall off on them, so you could like shotgun snipe people with this pretty easily. Yeah,
no, you can, and I have. It's very satisfying to do. Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite weapons they've added. I think it just works really well. Like you just have to try it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this when people were talking about like the possibility of like a TF2 update coming out soon. Like I'm literally open to any changes, good or bad. I don't care at this point. It's been so long to where they can ruin this game tomorrow, and I literally would be excited about it because I just want something interesting to talk about, to engage with in this game. Like I just miss when people talked about things that were real. You know what I mean? People just talk about like concepts and like theoreticals now. They don't have anything real to talk about. It sucks. And one of my favorite things about Team Fortress 2 and about video games in general is the ability to like theory craft and talk about what's good and what's bad. And we just don't do that anymore. We talk about like nothing. And so if they added this gun, I don't care. They could do that.
They should do it. I'm insane. No, these Roblox devs, all right, they honestly have the right idea with a lot of like changes to the classes. They like actually they come up with so many like cool, weird like ways of balancing weapons. Here's another one you might like. This one replaces the pistol and is a backpack for engineer, and it gives you 100% more. 100 plus more metal, and it makes you go slightly faster. But you get no pistol instead. I think it's pretty cool. It only problem is you can get a little bit turtly with it. But I still think it's a fun weapon. Quite good with the rescue in general.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see a backpack for the engineer in general. I made a video a while back about wanting to add like a dispenser backpack for the engineer. This is very similar to that idea. I would love something like that.
I know. This is why I've been playing this game, because it's just got so many like interesting weapons in it, and I'm just like, it's just been like, it's kind of like rediscovering TF2. As long as you just like put aside the fact that it's Roblox, it's actually like really well done. It's like, it's really impressive, honestly. What else have we got? I think that's most of the big ones. Let me see. They changed the Southern Hospitality. It does more damage to buildings. I don't know about this. I haven't tried this.
More damage to buildings? Wait,
wait, I don't actually get this one.
Maybe it means sappers, like it actually one shot.
Oh yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, my bad. There it is in chat. They change a lot of the weapons in this game.
Faster repair rate. Jesus. I guess slower firing speed though.
So
I mean, does that even out? I don't know how that would.
It's probably like a heavy hitter. Like that's the idea. Like it does more in one swing, but you swing slower.
Yeah, true.
It's sort of the anti-Jag.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Oh, this is a weird one. Okay, so this is a weird weapon. I didn't really understand what it did at first. So it's kind of like a rework of the Pomzen. Instead of the lasers being a projectile, though, they're basically just hit scan. And what it does is that it will shoot them. It does a lot less damage than like a shotgun, like up close. So it'll do about 60 to 70. However, it can set people on fire. But it does it's really bad at hitting buildings. It's quite fun. It's a fun attacking weapon for engineer.
Yeah, I would like if the Pomzen was a what do you call it? Hit scan weapon instead of a projectile. Yeah.
It's a lot better. The fire thing might be a bit annoying, but like that's like the only thing I'd say about it.
Yeah, engineer being able to set people on fire is weird, but like I said, I'm down for whatever.
He can in this game. It's so weird. Indy, is there any other ones you think of?
This just popped into my head, but while I was researching for one video, I saw a 2009 fake leak of new engineer building where it replaces the sentry with a flamethrower sentry.
Like in Paladins?
Yeah, so it's like when you get close, it like burns you down in like 2 seconds, but only if you get close. So what do you think of that one?
I think that sucks. No one would use that.
What's another one? So this is all off the dome. There was another the amplifier. Come on, you have to have heard of the amplifier. That was a classic.
Oh my god!
That was a classic 2012 community server staple. What were the stats again?
It was a new building, so it was crazy on community servers. It was absolutely busted. There's been a rework to try and get it to be a bit better. So what it does basically is that instead of a dispenser, you place down a building that doesn't heal anyone. Instead, it gives everyone crits.
mini crits.
Well, in the one I played, it gave people straight crits. It was absolutely broken. But I think then the rework is that it gives people mini crits in the area instead. I still think that's really strong though.
Especially for like defense and shit. Yeah, they're just like hanging around in one area.
Dust Bowl last and like the entire red thing has mini crits.
That would fucking suck.
All right, I think we've had enough of theoreticals, right?
These the typical colors weapons aren't even theoretical; they're just in the game, and you can try them at any point. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, those are ones that you can play. Yeah.
There's some other cool ones. There's you can get the family business on engineer, which is pretty cool. What else?
Yeah, I'd like them to do that in TF2.
They one we said earlier.
Would the family business be too strong on engineer though? Because you're a lot faster than heavy.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it'd be about the same as the shotgun. They added the panic attack, the old one, as its own weapon, like we were saying. It's called the Frankenstein. It's just how it used to be. I think it's better though. I think it's because what is it? Oh yeah, so how it works is that it like shoots faster the lower health you are. Well, no, that's how it used to be, didn't it? Wasn't?
No.
Or, what was it? I don't
the
remember.
lower health you were with the old panic attack, the faster it would fire.
I think so. Hang on, I'll put it in chat. You can double check.
That was the gimmick of it originally.
Yeah.
That is why it was the panic attack.
Yeah, that's why it was called.
It's called the Frankenstein in this game, which is quite a funny name. Short circuit. And that's the same, basically. Noisy. What about the bounce pads in TF2?
Oh yeah, have you ever played TF2 Classic?
No, but I have played High GPS's balance mod, and he added the bounce pads to that and speed pads, which were like I guess scrapped. Those were like actual scrapped ideas that Valve had. They're like still coded into the game. I think those are great. I would love those to be added to the game. They're a lot of fun to play with.
We were saying, I remember we were we were having a pastime discussion, and we all came to the conclusion that engineer is just too annoying in pastime with his sentries because it makes it like impossible to like shoot a goal unless you have a team behind you. We were talking about. I think one of the ideas is we could put you, instead of placing sentries, you can place down like jump pads, so you could like do like epic dunks.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Dunk-gineer.
But I think that. Oh yeah. No, Zell had this idea where instead of building sentries, he builds cannons, and then you put the pastime ball in the cannon thing, and then you can shoot the cannon like really far. She put a design in chat. It's really mental.
It's good. I haven't played pastime in like probably over 5 years though, so.
I think it's time to revisit it.
I think it's with pastime. We did a whole episode on it because I actually have like full faith in a football styled like TF2 game mode. I actually think it could work. It's just that the way they've put it. You know, I'm English obviously, so of course. But
always down for the footy.
I'm always down for a bit of the footy. But the way they do it in TF2 is just like so kind of like lame online. It's like because like the maps are like really big. And like a lot of basically the meta is just go scout or go engineer, and that's basically it. Because like engineer can like basically prevent anyone from scoring because you can't shoot the sentry, you can't you can't pass it to anyone. People can run up to you and take the ball. It's just a brick wall in your face. And like scout, it can like get the ball and you can do tricks with it and jump. Like no one else can do that. And like the maps are like really massive as well. So if you try and play heavy in pastime, good luck. You're just not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's just not viable at all.
Like no, he's just absolutely useless. Like genuinely, it's kind of lame. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling about pastime now. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
I think we should start to wrap things up now.
Yeah, I think we should wrap things up. Is there anything you want to say, Dane, before we close out? Anything you want to?
Or should we get questions from the chat like we usually do?
Questions from is there anyone?
Oh, yeah.
We do that always. Usually we do.
Well, did you already get a bunch of them, or are you just gonna wait for people to put them in
We're
chat?
just gonna wait. If there's a couple questions, we'll answer them. But if there isn't any, we're just gonna wrap up.
Okay, sure. While they add their questions in chat, I did want to say really quick because I wanted to say this when we were talking about the maps. I do have an idea for a concept for a map, and I've actually like drawn out the layout of it in Photoshop. I like was really obsessed with it for like a week, and then I took it to a mapper that I knew, and then he said that he would work on it, but then eventually he said that he doesn't have enough time to do it. So I am looking for someone who knows how to do mapping to work with on making a map together. If anybody's out there who is a map maker, who maybe has a little bit of experience under their belt, preferably, who would like to collaborate with me on a map, please reach out to me. My DMs are open on Discord if you share a server with me. So all you have to do is just join like my community Discord and send me a message. I just wanted to put that out there. If people were
I think
do that.
I think we know a couple mappers.
Yeah, we know quite a few mappers.
Well, there you go. So yeah, that's another thing. If you know mappers, pass it on. I was thinking about tweeting it out, but I might as well just say it here because I would like to try and work on a map with somebody.
Yeah, no, I think we know mappers. There's quite a few in Man Mag, isn't there?
I don't think there's quite a few, but we'll get back. I'll get to you on that if you have any.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm just putting the feelers out there. Is all. I just wanted to take the opportunity while I have the microphone.
Yeah, fair enough.
I also
we have a few questions.
Okay. Let's start reading these.
Okay.
Any ideas to fix random crits without removing them? Maybe an earning system.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to fix them without outright removing them. My idea of removing them is like the ultimate way. Sure. It's like the rip the band-aid off way. But I think like you could have a map vote, like kind of like voting for Halloween mode. That is one way to easily just like create your own environment where you like to play in a specific way in casual mode. As far as the mechanic goes, obviously like there's the stupid mechanic. The way it works is so stupid. Like the more damage you do, the higher chance you have of getting a random crit. Like that kind of goes against like the
what
entire
is trying
point
to
of them. Yeah, they're not even really truly random. They actually just encourage like people who are already doing well are just going to keep doing well and stomping you. Like it just makes pub stompers even more annoying. So getting rid of that and making it more linear, like or not making it linear, but making it so it's truly random, like literally it's like 10% chance across the board for everything, then that would be ideal. Yeah.
I do remember in your video about it that you said any other solution would be like sort of like pussyfooting around the actual issue, and removing it would just be like the best way to sort of solve it.
But I mean that I don't know if I used the word pussyfooting.
I don't think you did, but like you know, I'm paraphrasing obviously.
I would hope I didn't. It's kind of a mean way of saying it. But I do agree with that, but like I mean just whatever, if they can do anything at all to make them less like annoying, then that would be good. I think that'd just be a good thing, because I mean it's annoying to get killed for no reason, you know.
Yeah.
I can bring if I can circle back to typical colors again. The Roblox.
This fucking guy.
How they do it in there is that I think random crits have actually just been removed. However, with the melees, they have certain crit conditions. This is how they've done it. So I think with the scout bat, it will like if they're like I think it's if they're below like 40 or 30 health, the bat will always crit. So basically, it's like it serves its purpose as like a weapon you go towards when you run out of ammo. I'm pretty sure the engineer wrench always crits. I think that might be ridiculous.
Well, it's like a completely different game, so it's hard to make the comparison. But yeah, I do agree with like conditional crits. Like for instance, the triple hit gunslinger punch is great because you have to actually have like you have to dedicate yourself to doing it.
Yeah, you earn it.
Yeah, it's earned. I mean, the earned crits are great. I've seen a lot of people who are just like, Uncle Dane doesn't like crits at all. He hates the crits Krieg. Like, it's been so like telephoned over the years what my actual opinion on it is. So it is important, I think, to make sure maybe people know that I would like them removed, but I also would be open to literally any other solution to make them less annoying and basically solve any of the problems that I have with them. So. Yeah, that I hope that answers the question. I'm open to anything, but yeah, I had a few ideas, but I've seen a bunch of other good ideas out there too. I just can't think of any.
Okay, next one. The Unusual Lee says, "Can you not have a beard in your loadout next time?" I would. It's really mean. Can I actually eat food at conventions?
No, you have to dedicate yourself to your craft. Unusual. You have to. I mean, like. Can you really call yourself a cosplayer if you're not suffering for your art, you know? I was actually thinking about adding like armpit hair and stuff.
Oh yeah.
You have to glue under there.
A little chest hair.
Yeah. And a lot of armpit hair. It's not like it's like a lot. It'll really itch you.
What did we say? What did we say on the cosplay episode? It was like with Skyman, I think it was. It was like if you're not boiling and suffering underneath the suit, you're not doing it right.
So true. So freaking true. So no, I'm sorry. I mean, believe me, that beard is given not only cosplay. I mean, I think there's only been one person to cosplay me so far, and it is Unusual. But it does give her problems, but it also gives SFM artists a lot of problems because the beards are very hard to work with in SFM as well. So believe me, there are multiple people who either make things for me or make tributes to me who are annoyed by the beard. I'm so sorry.
Rue the day you
with the gold digger, it's with someone at SFM, it's particularly annoying because not only does it not track it when you do lip sync, it also has its own like teeth. So if you move the jaw down, it's like the tooth will be stuck up in your gums, and you'll look like you come from England. So it's just like awful.
A quote Lazy Purple SFM acronym ABAF. All beards are fucked.
Yeah, no, they're all beard.
I believe it. I
can go beardless. That's what I say.
Yeah, it's time to shave, Uncle.
Come on,
maybe that would be like a rebrand.
And it's like sparkling underneath, like
you got like a chiseled jawline. It's like the most perfect like human being specimen of all time.
He's got a golden wrench under there.
What?
Underwear.
Yeah, we always say Sam's got a pot of gold under his hat.
Okay, so let's see. Catch up with some of these. Tearsfall asks, do we think the new summer update is going to breathe fresh life and new players into TF2?
Sounds like more of a question for all of us. What do you guys think? Because
I guess so.
I mean, it did last time, so I mean,
summer update last year, the highest player count TF2 ever got for a community update, just for that.
It's because I feel like that one had such a marketable element with the seal. It was like everyone would see what the seal was about. I don't think this one has that.
They don't have that mascot.
It wasn't only that, but it was also the only other seasonal event other than the 2 we've gotten.
There wasn't any V-script game mode as well this year. Which is
I guess you're right. There isn't anything super flashy that would appeal to people who don't boot up TF2 that much anyway. So I can't see it being directly responsible for a huge resurgence in that way. But just the fact that the bots have been removed, I think, is going to contribute more to an increase in player count more than anything. Honestly, the bots being removed, I think didn't that have a huge resurgence of players when that became well known that casual was actually playable?
Yeah.
It did, but it's it didn't show up on the player charts because half the bots are being kicked as well as all the new players are coming in.
It's evening out.
Flat lines out.
Yeah, kind of balanced it out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I remember playing the week that they banned the bots, and normally whenever I queue for casual, it takes me about 20 to 30 seconds to get into a match. When I was queuing during that week, it was literally instantaneous every single time I pressed the button. So I noticed that there was just more people playing. So, and also there were a bunch of people who were kind of bad at the game all of a sudden.
No, honestly, that small period was honestly the best I think casual's ever been in a way, because I managed. Indeed, remember we got into a full game of Doomsday, a full game of Watergate in 2024. When was the last time we played Watergate in a pub?
Nice.
It was. There was some really good I think I finally got into a game of Selbin. There was some people playing 2-4 Invasion. I didn't even realize I was in the game. I thought Invasion was 10 years ago, but
and now it's moved the regular capture the flag rotation now.
Yeah,
did you guys hear about that?
I thought they would just take it out by now, but I guess they just really.
Now it's going to be even more. Now they doubled down. I guess it's going to be even more played because now it's in the CTF section.
Yeah.
I think there was some people even playing Snowplow. When was the last time you heard about Snowplow?
I think we got into pastime games as well.
Yeah, we did. No, it was like heaven for alternative game modes. It was actually because I put on tick the good ones in there. Obviously, there was people playing Manpower as well. I mean, to be fair, Manpower does have a small
dedicated player base.
There is a small little dedicated Manpower player base. I can't get into it honestly. I just don't understand what's happening. But it was cool to see people playing it at least.
Okay, next question. How from Hidden Egg? How do you feel about seasonal map rotations, removing/adding back in select maps from the queue every few months, coinciding with a patch? I feel like it could force people to play different maps.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would definitely encourage people to play outside their comfort zone, maybe. But I also think that there would be a lot of stubborn people who would be like, I literally only play Upward and Badwater, and they're not in casual this month, so I'm just gonna go and play on 24/7 Upward servers or something.
Realistically, they'd probably go to Uncle Topia.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's essentially what those are. But yeah, I think that it would be a good idea. I think there would be probably a loud minority of people who would be very vocally against that. But I think for the most part, it would be fine. I think a lot of people would actually get a kick out of seeing maps that they don't normally play because they have to. It just kind of sucks because, like you were saying, with quick play giving you more freedom and options, it kind of goes back on that philosophy a little bit. So there are pros and cons to it, but I do agree that it would definitely help people play maps that are out of their comfort zone, which is nice. And it would also probably help with queue times, because it would be you wouldn't be thinning the player base as much. Be concentrating them all in different or in specific maps more. Yeah.
This is a little side note, but have you seen that there was a screenshot from Uncle Topia that went viral for a little bit on Twitter, where the map switches to Selbian, and some guy says in chat, "What the hell is this?" and then it nominates Badwater.
So relatable.
Dude, what the fuck?
This is not Team Fortress.
What the fuck? What's the seal doing here?
Get him out of here, bro.
Get me out of here, bro.
Get this fat ass out of here, bro. This is not
This jobless ass.
I ain't feeling shit.
You know,
okay.
It's funny. I just a small anecdote about that. Believe me, I have tried so hard over the last few years to solve the problem of Payloadtopia, and it just won't. And there's nothing I can do. People like playing Payload. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've made servers that have no Payload maps on them at all. No one plays them. I've made like it so that you have to. Oh, sorry, my computer like fucking went black for a second.
Fuck.
I thought my computer died. I'm being cursed. No, I'm just saying, like, I've tried so many times to encourage people to, like, because I hear people saying, like, I don't want to play Payload, I want to play other maps. And so I'm like, okay, here's a server with no Payload, and nobody plays on them. So it's just like, it's really difficult to listen to that kind of criticism about the servers, because like, the people who like it are just going to play it, you know? It's really hard to solve.
Yeah. Is that what you've dubbed it? Payloadtopia? Like
I've just heard that people refer to Uncle Topia as Payloadtopia, which is true. I mean, like, a lot of people like playing Payload.
I think Payload is one of probably the better game modes. At least it's not like everyone's playing like CTF or something.
Yeah, I would even say it's probably the ideal pub game mode. So I understand why it's popular.
What would you do if they added VIP back and got rid of Payload? Would you be angry?
VIP? What's that?
Do you not know what VIP is? Oh,
No.
Indy, this is your territory. Come on.
Well, it's just like it's a scrapped game mode. It was supposed to be, instead of Payload, instead of a payload that you push on a rail, it was actually supposed to be a very important civilian player that you that you guide to the end of the map, and then he caps the final point. No one else can. So that was basically the initial, what Payload was initially, but then they changed it to like a non-playable cart that you push. Because
if you get a bad civilian, then it's over.
You will not have fun.
You will not win.
Your civilian goes AFK.
It is a fun game mode. It's in TF2 Classic. We play that a lot. It is actually a fun game mode if you have a good civilian. But if you don't, then
in that game they added like a system of like immediate mutiny. Like if your civilian isn't good, he can immediately be voted off.
I do not like playing the civilian though, because it's just like I like to shoot people, and then you're just kind of sitting there with one brain like, "Oh, help me, please! Please shoot for me!"
When you stroke him,
you can like boost people as well as like the civilian. You can give people mini crits.
Okay. There's one last question, and then we can close up. Fuxy asks,
"What a great name!"
Here's the real question: when's the next video, Uncle Dane?
I don't know. Sorry.
Damn.
Didn't one just come out? You guys are so impatient.
Video, please.
I need more
I've been playing too much Stardew Valley this week. Maybe when I get burned out on that, I'll go and play some TF2 and make a video.
I want to play Stardew Valley. Sorry, that's just how I said.
But yeah, I want to make a video about the Pomson just because I haven't, but it's hard because I don't like playing with the Pomson and I need footage with it. So it's like kind of a catch-22, obviously.
Yeah.
I quite like using shit weapons, as shown by the panic attack defense. I think there's like kind of like you get a unique satisfaction of killing someone when you feel like you're at a disadvantage, if that makes sense. So I quite like using the Pomson now and then, and like a battle NG style.
There was that one time where the Pomsen cost us a game.
Indy, tell that story.
Yeah. Okay, this is a really quick thing. So we were on Harvest. I was pocketing Party, and I had 100% health, 100% Uber, 100% Uber, and we were about to. There's 2 seconds left on the clock. I'm about to Uber Party so we can go in, clear out the point, and take it back. I get hit with a singular Pomsen projectile, setting my Uber back to like 96%, and we can't Uber in time. We die and we lose the game.
Wow.
I think it's actually the only time I've ever seen like that effect been like.
I've never been done by a Pomsen.
Yeah, I mean that might as well have just been a random crit hitting you, because like the Pomsen laser beam hitting you at all is like rare.
Yeah, that's like a 1 in 100, like 1,000 chance. That's like the ultra.
Because it gets
ultra
eaten.
crit.
It gets eaten by teammates, so like you have to basically hope that on the way to the enemy it doesn't hit anything else.
Well, maybe this is a hidden meta, the medic buster engineer.
Yeah,
no,
that's called the Wrangler. Just take that out.
I think that just sounds like the biggest like.
It's called the Sigafu save.
Oh, we bring that back.
Or the Sigafu save. I love that.
It's still in the game, by the way. It's just not as like incredibly overpowered. You can still do it. It's just very.
Who came up with that name? I have to ask.
Well, his name was like Sigafu.
Sigafu.
Well, yeah.
There was a guy named Sigafu.
Wait, you know what the Sigafu save is, but you don't know who Sigafu is?
Yeah, no, I know. What the
story.
It's just a cultural thing, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Sigafu was he's like a legendary engineer player. He played Highlander, and he also he created RGL.
Oh
wow! Whoa! What the fuck?
So Kashu, your Steam username for the longest time was the Sigafu Savior, and you just didn't know what that meant.
You don't know the lore?
No, I didn't know the lore. I just thought the name was so funny.
No, Sigafu was like majorly inspiring to me whenever I started playing engineer. I used to watch his like videos all the time.
He's the engineer legend, and you've just been like stealing his name and presence.
He's the Father Dane. There you go.
He's Grandfather Dane.
Grandfather Dane.
Yeah. No, and unironically, I can attribute a lot of like my early engineering days to watching Sigafu and people like him. But yeah, he basically popularized the use of like the Wrangler plus the Rescue Ranger before it was like heavily nerfed.
Was it him who called it that then, or was it like?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's vain enough to do that. I just think that like there have been multiple like casted Highlander matches where like he's completely stuffed an Uber by himself by doing that, and then the casters freak out and say, "Oh my God, Sigafu saved it" or whatever, you know. So it's just kind of like evolved.
Oh, we bring back the casters. I love them.
I think they're still there.
They are still there, but I guess I haven't watched a TF2 tournament in a while.
The medic.
We don't have any more good questions. There's someone in chat asking about typical colors balancing, but I don't think Uncle Dane would know anything about that.
I've not played the game. You ask me, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, no. So we'll. I think we'll wrap it up here. If there's anything any of you want to say for the end, that's it.
I'll just say thanks for having me on, guys. It was a very interesting 2 hours.
That doesn't give us high hopes. An interesting time we had on.
It's very interesting. Let's just put it that way. No, you guys have good questions and stuff prepared. I liked it. It was good.
Sorry for putting you in the hot seat.
No, it was great.
We have a unique energy. Well, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, definitely not. Shout out Sigafu. The goat.
Also, shout out to Azel for saving the stream.
Oh yeah,
big thanks to Azel Town.
I think that was the only major hiccup. I don't know what happened with the England just fell to bits. I think it's been back. I think it's been all right now. So we could have switched back, but I ain't taking no chances. Probably switch back and immediately it goes down again.
Maybe that could be how we're closing the stream.
It'd be good to close the stream pretty soon because a massive thunderstorm has just begun where I live in France.
Fuck. Shit.
Oh shit. France is falling too. The West is falling, guys.
What's going on in Europe,
man?
All right, yeah, let's close it here. I never know how to end these things, so let's just, justice for Breadman.
Party usually starts singing like some random shit, and then we just close it mid while we're doing that.
Whoa!
So, Party, go ahead.
So, the Autobots, we will find Sigavu, and we will save him. Whoa! I face myself. That was the worst ending I've
Yeah, that was probably the worst one ever.